Godzilla taking over. You best believe this. It's a Godzilla takeover. UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over. And 09's a year. It's a Godzilla takeover. UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over. And 09's a year, we're here.
So what, Alski? Tell these people what's popping off right now.
Yo, Godzilla, MC's here, I see the end, they're backing away. We're not here for the weekend, we're coming to stay. It's a Godzilla takeover, move out our space, or I draw for the Leviathan. One of them killer lyrics that we firing, sounding up the siren, tearing through the cortex, flow rate's not tiring, spinning like a vortex, velocity is spiraling, burst through your eardrum. You can't see the sonic boom, but you might hear one, when it'll spit a clear one, feel the power of the kick drum, with a sick lyric I rig one. Sniper tongue production, yo, it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big day when Godzilla take over. We're piling on the pounds and taking weights off your shoulders. Whether older or younger, you're a name, not a number. We'd like to take a minute just to find out what you're under. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over. And 09's a year. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over. And 09's a year, we're here.
People ain't believing it. You better tell them they can.
They need to believe when they're seeing this. Godzilla's in the house, best believe in this. We come to feed up the masses like Jesus did. But there's no fish and bread, we just gon' live this quick shit. We got a little way to go though. People are chatting but our names are rolled though. We're telling you that we don't need to boast though. The people know that we're the hosts with the most though. Oh, we do our shit craftily. You never see us on the blaze, never blatantly. The paparazzi, they never got nothing on we. Godzilla's too elusive, you can't sit with, you sit with. And you know where the shit blood. Godzilla is some top lyricist blood. Godzilla is the top against this blood. Godzilla's got your girl having fit blood.
It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over. And 09's a year. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over. And 09's a year, we're here. Ayo, Sniper Man, the people have been patiently waiting. It's time to let them know.
Patience is a virtue, but to sit and wait is just a sin. That's why the Godzilla fam keep moving. Heads held high, but not quite in the clouds. We stand firm, stand tall, just impressing the crowds. Impressing the crowds, I'm pleasing the masses. At the same time, blazing the highest grade glasses. Still, the fam remain focused. Stripping this shit like a plague of locusts. Intoxicate your mind with some evil dosage. Sniper AK and double L spit ferocious. The Godzilla family, I'm still on the path of war. Engage battle, I'm ready to perform. You can check us on the internet, up on the CD. The promos for free, cause the Zilla ain't greedy. We speak our minds freely. On road you might see me, shot in the Godzilla fam EP. Every time we roll a track out, blood, we touch us so deeply.
It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over. And 09's a year. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over. And 09's a year, we're here.
Jamaica, 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 Jamaica.
My attack is a massive, it's got the power that snap. When I clap in a clap, because you know it's a rap. So you never can snare us, we know it's a trap. It's like a lyrical trap, me when we're running on tracks. With the hammer of the guns, gonna smash it at 4. Gonna smash it and grab it, always looking for more. Drop them like a bad habit, we're gonna come we're bored. Keep it fresh on the counter, so you know that it's raw. It's a lyrical miracle with a lyrical spill. Always keep it original like we went in the wheel. So you know that it's typical and we got the appeal. With the barrel around your world and get your lyrical shot. Got the keys to the city, now means we got to unlock. Like a Taliban soldier, we're blowing up spots. If your head is a target, then we're licking it off. OCD is the hardest with your lyrical shot.
I'm coming with the rudeness, I proved it, I'm ruthless. Twist up your mind and work it out like a Rubik's. I do this, doing it for time, I pursue this. So slick up on the beat, verbally I spew this. Rudeness, intelligence, not crudeness. So slick on the beat with that smooth shit. OCD movement, ain't no room for no losers. Full torn warriors, covered in bruises. A single arrow cuts through four nooses. Don't confuse this with a scene from the movies. We stand firm that you'll never ever move. We penetrate deeper than the roots of an oak tree. OCD is enough to make you OD. Throw your hands in the air like you fucking know me.
Soldiers and road juice, the ones rolling. If you're an older or old group, if you're holding, put a very spliff in the air. If you're sick of any prick, then tell that prick while he's there, watch us lift it. Man and call spirits in the flesh, mandolin guitars can't make to harmonise death, heavens chanting. While the snakes charm by the dead, the flow mantras, the holy Dalai Lama can bless his bananas. But I'm cast as nanas and nuts, so I clash with anybody twisting arms on my bruv, that's my brothers. Government's harm what I love, son, I'm loving for this government. The armor's built up, I react, take stand and defend what I'm building. It's a fact, kill a man and defend what we're building, so relax. Take a second for more, progress to anything you want, attend to your force.
Let me bust this verbal soliloquy. You better trust it's the hottest shit from OCD. Original side for deliverers and back to the crowd. Any hype that they given us. I spit the high grade found by the Mujahideen. First we surveyed, then we chose to flood the scene. Surrounded by the filth, now it's squeaky clean. Being left on the shelf was never the dream. Watch us propagate the next breed of higher strains. And it'll always escape into dire straits. That's how the block plays. When you're reaching higher planes, forget the block days where you see the fire blaze. Flows are individual, never indivisible. Always been the case since back in the day. Been lyrical since DJ first scratched the play. Now it's typical, the sound boys are backing away.
Jamaica, 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 Jamaica.
How do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, what's the end goal? The end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society. They want a one-world government controlled by them. Everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip.
One, 2, 33, 6 million. You're back in the place to be. It's
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above.
welcome back, Andy PG.
Word to you, Nan.
For anyone wondering, yes, we are live. This is a full live show,
Bringing you the finest goy slop from this side of the pond.
and we're also going to be on YouTube for the entire evening this evening. We're not going to be like defecting over.
We're giving it to you raw.
We're not going to be defecting over to Patreon and trying to tempt you over there by taking half the stream over there. We are going to tempt you over to Patreon tonight in other ways. Don't worry. But this is live, 8 till 11-ish on YouTube. I'm here, Andy PG's here. This is episode 173. Big shout out to everyone that's tuned in, everyone that's in the chat. Let's see who we've got.
Right here, right now, is where we draw the line.
Big shout out to Stanley Milgrim, Pamela Swan, the Glitterati, and
That
Baz.
weed's quite tasty, Lance. Your Tory weed.
The Tory weed is
Yeah,
very tasty. Yeah,
yeah.
very
Super booth. that
very
one,
nice
is it?
flavours
Super
from
booth.
the Tory weed, actually.
Thank you, Theresa May.
Big shout out to Hungregian. Did everyone on Patreon enjoy the Hungregian special dive into ancient Hungregian history? the history of the Magyars was Sunday's watch party. We'll be talking about watch parties on Patreon.
That was a heavy watch party. That was.
It was. There's a lot of
to
information.
take in.
Didn't know anything about any of
No,
that.
nor did I.
It was a real dive into ancient Hungregia. So
we just need to apologise for the spelling mistake in the description tonight of the show that's on CubeTube.
big up yourself, Hitman Petey. See you as well, mate. Gas meter. Yes, gas meter. You've caught a live. Gas meter. You caught a live for once. Okay. Oh, mate, saying gas meter makes me think of Godvag for some reason. Think how much of it I missed.
Shout out to Wim.
Shout out to Wim. Hope you're watching too, mate.
The Vagian theorem specialist.
Okay, so let's get some of our normal business up. We can take our time tonight. We've got 3 hours when we're broadcasting on YouTube to the masses. And also tonight we're going out in portrait and in vertical mode. Sorry, portrait and landscape. Portrait is vertical, duh. YouTube, X, Instagram, Twitch. Yeah, I think that's about it. So whether you're watching us long ways or portrait mode, big up yourself. We are going to be getting visual tonight with our presentations and some of the ideas we're going to be discussing.
How do we can't put a comment up on the screen with this format.
With what format?
With this here. If I click on a comment, I can't get it. Doesn't come up on the
You
screen.
have to do it here. That you're
Oh right, beg your pardon. Yes, yeah.
You're clicking on the actual screen, Andy.
On the
PG,
overlay.
not on the controls.
On the overlay.
Yeah.
There we go. There
Mate,
we go.
how much more complicated is Restream getting?
No, and this I don't like this shit at the top either. Here,
It's basically doubled its complexity, and it didn't. Nobody asked us.
It's
if
like
that was
your
okay or
council
not.
tax. It goes up, but you get more complicated and less service.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about stuff like that tonight. So, I mean, I'm just looking on the Schwaber's board here. I haven't got a peasant cam because the peasant cam is over here.
Shout out to the King of Sting and Casey Connolly. They're in the chat there.
Yeah, big shout out to King of Sting. Heard King of Sting got an interesting letter this week.
He did.
I won't say anymore. He might want to. I want everyone to know. What was I saying? Yeah, on the Schwaber's board here, we've got some loose topics du jour to talk about. The sausage finger ID. That's a big one. Everyone's going to be pissed if we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Bournemouth crime rate. Some very, very interesting stats have came out.
Yeah. We're going to whip the calculator out. We're going to dissect it.
Yeah. We're going to be
Probably do a diagram.
We're going to be drawing some diagrams tonight. Don't worry.
The professor.
Andy's got a video from Andy's got a video to bring to our attention.
I'm so sorry, guys. I have to apologise.
It's called
in
Bad
advance.
News About Uncle Rupert.
It is. It's Uncle Rupert's fairy tale.
Uncle
Rupert's fairy
Uncle
tale.
Rupert's nightmare on
I
Elm
do
Street.
apologise to everyone who is looking for the saviour figure in Rupert Lowe, but he might not be it.
And I've also got Rabbi Steen parade written down here as well. Okay, so those
The
are some of
the Tomek Rabbi Steen parade, which is taking place tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's without even going on the WhatsApp. Okay, so let's have a little look here on our shared screen. So we need to let everybody know.
Shared screen.
We have been sharing the screen because we've got some Professor Technology we're going to be employing tonight.
Oh, Professor Tech.
Professor Tech. I need to let everyone know that a great way to support Rise Above and a great way to look cool this summer is to purchase Rise Above merchandise. In fact, I'm just going to share what kind of merchandise we've actually got available here at the Rise Above website. Because remember, merchandise increases revenue.
Do the diagram. Do the diagram.
No. I've already done that diagram once. I don't need to be redundant in my diagrams. But guys, there's so much choice on the website. There's really something for everyone, from beanies to shorts to t-shirts, hoodies.
That's it. Get yourself a beanie, guys, for the summer.
Yeah,
That's it. I think it's 25 degrees down here next weekend.
Ladies cuts as well, ladies tops, ladies designs on the t-shirts. Loads and loads of stuff. The QR code I'm just going to put on the screen right now for the merch shop. There it is. It's a great way to support us, guys. And obviously, if you're out and about and there are other...
Baz in the comments there, Uncle Jupert.
Uncle Jupert. That's a good one. Nice one, Baz. Nice one, Baz.
The problem is you're a fucking retard.
Sorry, that was the wrong button. I meant to hit the hee-hee. There we go.
So if I go to clothing and we went to... Was there one for new arrivals? What's the newest ones? It's obviously...
The Jewist ones?
The Cubish World Map. This was actually supposed to be Black Cube Organisation Word Map.
Yes.
But I'll take Cubish World Map.
Yeah,
That's a good abbreviation at least. I've been rocking this one recently. There's loads of designs on there, guys. And
there's a word to you get a word to your nan t-shirt. You could buy a word to your nan t-shirt and give it to your nan.
Absolutely. T-shirts, 27. We have Words to Your Nan T-shirts available. They're all available on the website. Where's Words to Your Nan?
It should be there. It's there. It's there somewhere.
We'll find it. Okay. All right. Let me just get rid of that.
There it is.
Yeah. Words to Your Nan.
There it is.
Andy PG's catchphrase. So that's a great way to support us, guys. Now, let me just get to the next slide because that will tell me what I need to do next.
See, Mark Devlin was back at the attic.
Mark Devlin is. We got to give so much respect to Mark Devlin. He is on a constant world tour.
He is, isn't he?
I remember many years ago, possibly it was at the start of Rise Above, and he emailed me. He's like, Lance, it's like, can you help me get some gigs in like DJing gigs in like the conscious scene? And I was like, Mark, I would love to. I just don't even know if this scene exists yet.
No.
And if it did, I would be looking to get gigs in this scene as well. But lo and behold, like now in 2026, that scene does exist, and he is constantly going around doing talks, doing DJ sets, sometimes doing talks, workshops, comedy.
He's doing a talk.
DJ sets.
He's doing a talk at the attic again. I forget who, with Andy, someone. I think I can't remember who it was. It's not me.
So we got to pay homage to Mark and say how proud we are of him for, you know,
doing very well,
sticking to his art, you know, carving his little corner.
He's just released his new book as well. He's got a new book out.
Is it? Wait a minute. So it's not. Is that the book after Volume 3, Musical Truth?
No, it's it's not a musical truth book. It's a fiction book.
Oh, is it The Curse and the Cure?
No, that was the one he did before.
That's the. He's got another
he's done another one.
Damn. Damn. Mate, I'd love to have time to write a book.
Just get AI to do it.
No, I'd have to write it myself. Don't be silly, Andy PG. Right. So tonight is going to be a little bit more like a Patreon show. We're going to take our time with the information tonight. We're not going to like bombard you with about 33 million different things.
There may be racial slurs. No, I'm joking. There won't be racial slurs.
Our Patreon is only £3.33 a month. You can sign up for free, and there's plenty of stuff you can get on there for free. But if you want all of it, it's £3. And in the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a lot more than one video a week. Some weeks I've had like 4 videos.
I've got like 3 in the bag to do. Well, one of those will be tonight. I'm doing one on. Actually, I'm not going to say that on CubeTube.
Okay, all right.
Save that for the Peasantron.
Save it for Peasantron. Big shout out to everyone on Peasantron. If you're in the chat room and you're on Peasantron, show us some love, give some explosions, and let everybody know, is Peasantron worth £3 a month? Right, I need to get rid of.
Currently 115 peasants tuning
That's
in, guys.
not bad.
Don't forget to share the stream to people.
Share the stream to
all
everyone.
over your social media.
Absolutely. So, one thing that we do on Peasantron is we do watch parties where an interesting video comes along and we sit back and watch it, and sometimes we literally just watch the video and make a few comments. Sometimes we're breaking things down and a 10-minute video becomes a 1.5 hour
easily sometimes
analysis. So we never really know how it's going to go.
Often with the Hungarians watch party about the Magi's, we were just like shut the fuck up and watched it, didn't we?
Because basically. We didn't know we didn't know have any reference
No.
points because we didn't know anything about it. I've come across this channel. I've known about this channel for a while. It's called Hidden America, right? And this guy's been around for a while. Let me just have a look at some of his stats. So he's got 56,000 subscribers, 117 videos. I came across this video, right, called Cybernetic Abyss. It's called The Cybernetic Abyss, the CCRU and the Technomancy of Jungle. And he's talking about jungle music. I started watching it for about 10, and look at the length of the video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that rounds up to
2:33.
and it's got a
Yes.
yeah. This guy is a deep occultist, the guy that makes these videos. He knows his shit. And in this video, mate, there are themes, terms, and words we've never heard of before. And as soon as I started watching this, I was like, no, I'm gonna.
This is all related to jungle music.
Yeah, it's basically talking about the relationship of the technomancy of the transhuman agenda and where it's coming from, i.e. another dimension, and how jungle music, the creation of jungle music, was sort of overseen by this group called the Cybernetic Culture Research Unit, the CCRU. I've never heard of them before.
No.
Yeah, so we're going to learn all about this,
No,
in a watch party, and obviously it's sort of particularly interesting and relevant for
Obviously,
me and Andy PG.
all drum and bass music came from jungle music, and jungle music came from the fucking jungle.
I was watching this with like an open mouth going, what?
Yeah, I bet.
Like, yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
So the reason I'm telling you guys about this on a Friday night show is just to highlight the difference and the difference in content and the difference in pace with a Patreon presentation compared to a Friday night live stream. On Patreon, we really slow it down. We get to get a lot deeper into the subjects. We're breaking it down. We're drawing diagrams. And we generally get to the bottom of things a lot better on Patreon, I think, rather than just glazing over stuff and having a good laugh like we do a lot of the time on Friday night. Nothing wrong with that.
No. That's our Friday night show. That's what we do here on Riseborough.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay. So, if you want to support us and you want to get literally the whole rabbit, the only place you're ever going to get that nowadays is on Patreon, because we've got the time and place to put it in. And apart from that, anyone that's on Patreon will tell you it is now a hub of connectivity for the Ramish community. People are in the chat rooms, in the comment section all the time, interacting with each other. We've got a singles chat on there. We've got a place where you can recommend watch parties for Patreon. So we're getting much, much more interactive with you guys. And a lot of that I think you can pretty much access for free. I don't think you have to pay £3 to access that, the chat rooms and stuff.
Excellent.
It's only £3. Don't be a peasant. Support us, give us some more revenue. We've got to give
equal.
We've got to give a big shout out to Matt Landman. He was the last live show. That was episode 172. Okay, so you can go and check that one out on the replay. And don't forget, he told us that on the 20th of June 2026 at Marble Arch in London is his next summer solstice rally.
It's clearly racist.
The Stop Geoengineering Rally, the biggest and one of the only of its kind in the world, where people come together to show solidarity against the lines in the sky, geoengineering, and all that kind of stuff. So a big shout out to Matt Landman. Okay, I need. Can you just speak to the pheasants for a minute while I get a fresh drink? I need a fresh drink before I start my presentation.
Fresh drink.
Okay.
So yeah, Matt Landman's. Okay, yeah, we've got his tote bag here. We'll do this quickly while Lance is.
So tell the people about.
So we're giving a tote bag away here with some Rise Above goodies in it. We've got some mushroom tincture from it's not magic mushroom tincture, as Lance just shouting from the green. We've got a selection of Rise Above stickers that's in here. You've got some coasters here done by my beautiful fiance Becky S. You've got a Ryan Sanders CD here, everyone's favourite Christian rock rapper. We've got some Dr. Kimchi coin here for it's a digital crypto wallet for all your digital money. We've got a Rise Above lanyard here. What else? We might throw some other stuff from around the studio in here. So yeah, that's to give away tonight.
To be in for a chance to win this, we'll announce it on the next live stream, which might be in a week's time. It might be in 2 weeks' time. We don't know yet. All you've got to do is sign up to Patreon for £3. Okay, Patreon people, I give loads of stuff away to them for free as well. But we're giving this away free as a prize draw for everyone that signs up to Patreon from this moment forth until the next time we broadcast live. We'll draw the names out of a hat, and whoever's name comes out will get that tote bag posted to them first class with all of those Ramish goodies.
Far right folks.
Big shout to everybody tuned in. In the comments section, let us know if you're enjoying the stream so far.
120 peasants currently tuned in, guys.
Are we sounding crystal clear? Are we looking good? Are you ready to talk about digital ID in the UK?
33 million people in Britain are mentally ill. No, but not.
Okay. So, we need to start. I think we need to start with a video. Let's start with this.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernise how citizens interact.
Okay. Oh, Michael. Just in case anyone didn't hear that, I'll play it again, because when it started playing for me, it said 3 seconds, and then it said 13. So I saw a 33. That was the first thing I saw when the video came up. Of course, Michael. I'm going to play that again in case anyone at the back didn't hear.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernise how citizens interact. with public services.
Disgusting.
So,
look at this frail old peasant.
Disgusting old peasant.
Reptilian fucking peasant sitting on his golden throne.
So,
with the Epstein crown.
I am going to be employing some Dr. Jang technology, Professor Jang technology right now, okay?
Professor Wang.
But I just need to let you know throughout I'm not going to be doing the whole presentation in Professor Jang's voice, because I can either do 100% professor or 100% presentation. Can't be 50-50. That's not good, right? Okay. All right. So I will be doing some drawing. I might be a professor present impersonation now and then, but I'm not gonna,
clearly racist.
Right. First thing I'm gonna just point out for everyone that's gonna annoy everyone. First of all, this was always going to happen.
Yeah, everyone knew this.
Okay, we'll circle it in case anyone was unaware. This was always going to happen. And we've got to talk about this, because I know that if we didn't...
It's a big move.
It's a big move. It's a big move. If we weren't talking about this right now, everyone will be upset with us. Lance and Andy, you're missing the big topic. We talked about digital ID a lot in the past. I started talking about it in 2020. Hell, in 2020, I was stood on a bench with people filming me with a big crowd around me on a microphone,
gobbing off
about digital ID and social credit scores. Okay?
And the Chinese system.
Now, what I want to say in my presentation, I thought about this all day, right? And some people are not going to like the way that I'm going to approach this, but I'm going to try and be realistic.
That's what we're all about here on Rise Above.
And pragmatic.
Yes.
And Ramish about this.
Yes.
As I possibly can.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to be a bit obvious as well, and I'm going to also do my best to try and present some solutions.
Yes.
Or some options. Okay. But I will start off by pointing out that this was always going to happen. Okay. Let's just clear the board. Okay.
Clear the digital smorgasbord.
Okay. We'll just go back.
Digital molestation in the chat there. Yes, Baz, that's correct.
So, this picture of Sausage Fingers with his new sausage ID ideas, with an Epstein Island fucking temple.
Amazing.
Hat on, literally great work. Can I just watch the video one more time before we get into this, because it's almost like he might have just he might as well have just draped himself in the fur of like 1,000 Perish Goyim. Do you know what I mean? The hair of them. Look what he's wearing and stuff.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction.
I mean, look at all this fucking shit. I'm no communist, Lance, as you know. But that is like, do you really need that?
Are you saying that looking at this makes you feel like a communist?
No, but I'm
is
like,
that what you're saying,
do you really need that? Are you that fucking shit? Do you need all that?
I think my mic's a bit loud. I personally think when I look at this looks to me that this is done just to piss people off.
Yeah, of course it is.
Look
because he was in his speech. He was. I haven't listened to the whole of King's speech, but I did hear a few little clips of it, and he was talking about like my ministers will like try and eradicate poverty and stuff like that. Whilst he's there draped in all this fucking shit.
Amazing.
I think the crown alone, the jewels on the crown, are worth like I think it was 5 billion. 3 billion.
From what I've heard, if you had priced them at the equivalent weight and carat of the stones compared to other stones in the world, that's how much they would be.
Yeah.
But because of the quality and the size of those stones, those are the best examples of those stones. So they're actually priceless. You can't put a price on them. Yeah. They're literally like
they're the finest example for every other stone to try and emulate.
Yeah, exactly. So his ministers are going to issue a digital ID. So to help peasants access their government services, the minister's services,
in a more efficient way.
What does this actually mean? So first of all, I thought I put in here because Andy PG brought this to our attention. Uncle Rupert, good old trusty Uncle Rupert, maybe not. We'll be hearing about that later. A Restore Britain government will scrap any form of mandatory digital ID. Mandatory is an important word to think about here.
The masks were mandatory, Lance, for kosher 19. That was mandatory. I didn't wear one of those once.
Yeah, but when you sort of really find out that like the word mandatory that's pretty loose as well. So anyway, I think this is from this little article I'm going to read here. I think this is from the Telegraph or something like that. Digital ID limps on. What's the name of this reporter here?
Zoe Kleinman.
Steinman. It's a once heralded silver bullet in the battle against illegal immigration, and now as a one-way for employers to check credentials of new hires. It's not compulsory, and it can help people that've got no other form of official ID. Blah blah blah. Of course, yeah, it's going to help people. It's going to help people. It's had a lukewarm reception so far, but now the king has brought it in. Okay. Now, obviously, people of the tinfoil persuasion say this is it. We're fucked. This is it. This is it. I'm going to take a much more tempered and realistic approach to this. Okay. I'm going to point out that we already have 4 types of digital ID, and I'm going to employ some Professor Jang technology to show you exactly what I mean, because I've already drawn this diagram earlier on to test it out. Andy PG's already seen it.
I've witnessed it.
It's what you see. Seen the power of this diagram. Okay, right. I think I actually need to start with that. We need to start with this diagram.
Yeah, get the diagram.
Now, PG, obviously, I want to do this diagram correctly. All right. So, do feel free to ask me questions.
Of course.
And to I took a picture of it because I didn't want to forget. Okay. Right. So what did the king actually say? King Sausage Finger the 33rd said his ministers are going to impose a digital ID. I'm going to get rid of the chat.
Get rid of the overlay,
because
Michael.
this is important. This is important, everyone. We're going to employ the professor's technology. Okay, all right. We're gonna go up here, and this one's going to be red. Okay, so you need to access the facilities, the sausage facilities. But no, these are actually the facilities of
Saucearian
facilities. You need to access the facilities from the Black Cube organisation. Okay, so let's start with the Black Cube organisation mainframe. Okay, we're all familiar with what this symbol represents.
The Star of Moloch.
Okay, this represents the mainframe where you access your government services from. So this is not going to be an exhaustive list. Okay, but what are these government services? We'll just use another colour for this, and I'm going to really break down what this actually means, because people are losing their shit over it, and I don't really think at this stage it's as bad as everyone thinks it is, because I'm going to show you what this actually means, and I'm also then going to talk about China as well. Okay.
Oh, China.
So at the top, you've got tax / wages. Now the slash depends whether you're an employee, an employer, self-employed, but this all comes under one thing. Okay, that's one side of the cube. The next side of the cube, which is the right side, is travel.
So things like your taxes, that's obviously to log into your, here in the UK we have the HMRC, so you need your digital login for that. I'm
going to come on to that, Andy PG.
Okay.
But what other things do you need to, what other reason do you need to access the Black Cube mainframe?
What, apart from travel or tax and wages?
Let's talk about travel. When I talk about travel here, this means 2 different things. This means crossing over borders. That means they're going out of your designated peasant area.
Yes.
And it also means you're licensed to drive a motor vehicle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So travel. The next thing, the opposite to tax and wages, right, is benefits.
Yep.
And we can also put healthcare here.
Health services, yes.
Right. Health. Okay.
For your hantavirus vaccine.
And the final area of the cube that where you access services is fines and courts. Okay. So that's the judicial system and getting fined, right? So these are the 4 sides of the cube. I'm not going to talk. I could put birth and death on here.
Yeah.
But those are such other big categories that it would actually not be doing it justice to put that on there. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. We're going to keep it simple like that. Now, at the moment, I just said something a minute ago which might have surprised people. This is obviously the UK we're talking about here. We already have 4 types of digital ID in the UK. Lance, you're chatting shit. You're sounding pro digital ID. No, I'm not. I'm being honest. I'm telling you the truth. I'm going to explain. Don't worry. The 4 types of digital ID that we already have. Let me just get a new colour for this one. So when you're accessing wages, tax, and the HMRC, in the UK you have something called a unique tax reference.
So in the UK, in the US, that's the IRS. Yeah, that's just our equivalent over here. The HMRC is what it's called.
Yes, that's
Her
correct.
Majesty's Revenue and Customs.
Yes, the Inland Revenue.
Yeah,
it used to be called, right? So you have UTR, your unique tax reference. This is a number. All right. Also, to access tax, wages, income tax, depending whether you're an employee, employer, self-employed, we also have something called a national insurance number. Okay, I'm going to put Nat Insure. This is also a code with numbers and letters. All right. When it comes to travel down here, we have a passport. And if you drive a car, you have a driver's license. For anyone that's watching, you're thinking, why am I doing this? This is all very obvious at the moment, okay? By the way, is everyone following me so far? Are you following the logic of my presentation, my predictions, okay? All right, comment section, let me know if you're following this so far. These are already 4 completely active and working digital IDs.
I'd argue the one for travel, like when you're coming in and out borders, is far worse because that actually has like the retinal scan, the do you know what I mean? That's actually worse.
Andy PG, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct.
Yes.
Okay, so right now a UTR, your unique tax reference, is a number. I think it's like, say, 9 digits long, something like that. Your national insurance number is a 2-letter code, 6 numbers, something like that. Digits is a digital. We could say these are quasi-digital.
We could.
Okay. A passport has a number. I think it's 12. There's letters in there. It's got some of the letters of your name in there. Your driving license also, so it's the driving license that also has the number with the letters in. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 semi-autonomous quasi-digital IDs in place. And we use these to access the services from the Black Cube organisation, travel, benefits and health.
The same as when you go into a hospital, they ask you for your national insurance number.
Yeah. Now, the reason that I've chosen these 4, because there are others that I could have chosen.
Of course, there's education, there's loads of it.
The reason I've chosen these 4 things, the passport number, the driver's license, the national insurance and the UTR, is these can also be used as official forms of ID.
Yes.
They can be typed into government websites and the digital systems that recognise these numbers can identify you. Okay? So a lot of people that are... What's the word? They're not pro-digital ID, but they poo-poo people.
Of the tinfoil hat persuasion.
Of the tinfoil hat persuasions, because they say, well, you've already got a passport number.
The issue, that's not... I just interject. That's not the actual issue.
Yep.
The issue of the digital ID isn't the problem. It's what can be done with it. It might, let's say Queer Stalin's government get this in and it's all in place, right? They might not be even the government to fuck you over with it. It might be 2 or 3 down the line.
So you're absolutely right, Andy PG. And at the moment, these 4 digital IDs are used as inroads to access aspects of the Black Cube organisation. Okay, right. Now, if you're a good goyim or a bad goyim, depending which way you're looking at it, you're only accessing 2 sides of this.
That's your fines and courts.
Well, so if you're a bad goyim, you're basically accessing fines and court systems and benefits and healthcare, right? If you're a good goyim or bad, depending which way you look at it from whose point of view.
You're actually accessing the other two.
You're actually accessing only the other two.
Yes.
Some people access 3, some people
Yes.
access 4, and
Yes.
obviously that changes throughout their life. Now, at the moment, if you don't have a national insurance number, a UTR, a passport, or a driver's license, you cannot access those services.
No.
Now, some people, and maybe I need to look in the comments section, are going to start shouting at me and say, I'm a freeman on the land. I can go wherever I want without a passport. Show me a video of you walking through Heathrow without a passport.
Yes. And getting on a plane.
Some people that obviously don't get out much have like in the last couple of years. Oh, can you take a video going through Heathrow to show the face scanners? I was like, no, I know they're there.
Yeah,
they've been there for 5 years. I go through there all the time.
It was fucking retarded. When me and Becky came back from Japan, we stopped at Amsterdam, and we had to queue up to go through the immigration bit. And they had a whole row of these retinal scanners, where you slide your passport in and does your eyes and shit.
Yep.
All of them closed. The whole lot closed. Now the queue with like a couple of booths with the peasants in checking people's passports.
Okay, so now the presentation gets a little bit more interesting. Okay, because there are 2 on this list that are different to the others. Do you know which 2 are different to the other 2 of the blue ones?
Driver's license, passport.
Yeah.
Your UTR.
All right, so 2 of them. There are 2 sets there, and there are 2 twos, and they're different. Which 2 sets are different, and why? Out of the blue things.
No, go on. You tell me.
The driver's license and the passport stand apart from the UTR and the national insurance.
Right.
Do you know why?
Why? Go on.
Because they already have integrated biometrics. Michael.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Okay. So your passport. Does anybody ever remember when the biometrics got introduced to the passport?
Yeah. You got a chip in there.
Okay. And your driver's license also has biometrics included as well. Okay. I believe, depending how well travelled you are, your fingerprint will have been linked to your passport by now, because a lot of countries do fingerprint scanning, especially in Asia. The photos on either your driving license and your passport are already on the facial recognition databases. Okay.
Yes.
So this is every single person watching the show at the moment, I would say, is accessing at least 2 sides of this cube. And I'm going to guarantee that 75% of you are already accessing it with biometrics. All right? Biometrics here.
And here.
Biometrics here. This is already in place and has been there with the biometrics, minimum 5 years, 10 years maybe. Okay? So, what is Sausage Fingers actually suggesting? We obviously we need a new colour.
Choose a brown for cooked sausages.
A brown for cooked sausages.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will
lovely
be
sizzled sausages.
the sausage finger. The sausage. This finger represents the sausage finger ID system. All right. Okay, this is the sausage finger here. All right, dripping grease, dripping sausage finger. In fact, we'll have a couple of sausage fingers. All right. Okay, and these sausage fingers represent the new system that King Charles is talking about. And what these fingers aim to do is to unite all of these systems here to the sausage fingers, to the
one to each sausage here.
Yeah, one to
each sausage.
with maybe the thumb will go on your birth certificate.
Yes,
or something like that. So this is the new sausage ID system, and what they're going to say about the sausage ID system is for people that don't have, because imagine there are some people that literally don't have any of those 4.
Yeah, travellers.
Yes.
Irish traveller types, homeless people.
Yeah.
There are peasants out there with
there will be illegal immigrants.
Yes.
Mostly illegal immigrants and travellers,
radical mariners
that do not have any. They cannot. The way they're accessing the cube, the yellow layer of the cube at the moment, is probably through some QR code from a Soros organisation,
yes.
printed out on a bit of paper
that they pick up
put
from their
against the
hotel.
facial scan.
Yes.
And because that's the only way they can identify them is a biometric. Okay. So what King Charles is suggesting is a system that basically unifies all of these systems we have already.
And that's the argument that everyone uses who is pro this. They say, oh, you've already got it. It's just consolidating it all into one to make stuff easier, make stuff cheaper. and more efficient. That's the argument.
No, if you don't want to take part in the sausage system,
the sausage ID system,
the sausage ID system,
SIDS, SIDS.
The sausage identification system,
SIDS.
I came across this and I find this very interesting because it's already been pointed out in some things that I found out here that the whole sausage identification system will be run from your smartphone. SIDS will run off your smartphone. Okay. Doesn't need a microchip, Michael.
No microchip required.
No microchip required.
Oh, Michael.
This is a microchip-free technology solution. It run off your smartphone. So how do you log into it? It's going to be very easy, Michael. Because the sausage identification system, the SID system, you will never have to have a number. You won't need a UTR. You won't need a passport number. You won't need a national insurance number. You won't need a driving license number. Your meat suit will be the identification, Michael. But Lance, you just said that there's not going to be a Michael chip. No, there doesn't need to be a Michael chip.
Oh, Michael.
You've got a Michael suit.
Yeah, you are the chip.
You've already been scanning your meat suit into your smartphone for years.
And then we've got, I'm not jumping ahead to out of the presentation into another, but there's the Tomek Rabbistein parade coming up tomorrow, and there's going to be fucking biometric facial recognition all over that shit.
Mate,
all over it.
The sausage ID algorithm already knows everything about you.
Yes.
It knows everything about you. It knows
how you walk.
It knows what you're going to post on Facebook after your breakfast tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It knows what your political persuasions are. It knows whether you like Rabbistein or not. Okay. Is that what's everyone saying about my presentation so far? Is it too negative? Am I being too negative?
No, I don't think you're being too negative.
Okay, because I think I'm being realistic. Now, where was I going? Right. 1 sec. Hold on.
Am I?
How do we opt out of the sausage system? So I'm gonna say there's two approaches to bypass the sausage ID system. But there's really bad news for certain people. If you are primarily accessing the most peasant-y sides of the cubes, let's be honest, I'm sorry. If you are accidentally accessing the most peasant-y sides of the cube by constantly getting fined and ending up in court and using the national health a lot and basically claiming benefits, if you are only accessing those two sides of the cube, okay, you are going to be hit the absolute worst by this sausage ID system.
SIDS.
You will not.
SIDS coming at you.
You people here and people here. You are going to really struggle.
To opt out, you mean, Lance?
Well, because...
You're going to struggle to opt out.
Well, what you'll be opting out of is what's keeping you alive.
Yes.
To be blunt.
Yes.
To be blunt, I can't sausage coat this. I can't.
No,
a
please
nice,
don't.
like, you know, like that kind of
skin on the
that
sausage.
that waxy, shiny coating they put on a wiener. I can't do that.
Polished wiener.
If you are only accessing, what should we call it, like the advantageous sides of the cube, they're not really that advantageous. Just at least they're not killing you. These sides, you are going to be less affected because you're not accessing the cube so much. The best way to completely bypass this, which I have been saying all along, is to build parallel systems.
Build your PS.
Parallel systems here and here, outside of the sausage system. This is what a black market is.
Yes, black market.
This is a black market. I know it sounds idealistic, but if you don't want to have a digital sausage ID, you need to stop accessing the cube so much, and you need to build parallel systems. Like we've got one. It's called the Ramesh community. Michael, here, I'll just write down here, Ramesh community. All right. Okay, this is a parallel system.
The problem is, though, is when you want to pass the borders and things like that. That's the trouble.
Yes, absolutely. And for me, okay. So why are they implementing this the sausage system? It's so that if you link all of these systems together, you can be blacklisted from all of them.
Yes,
simultaneously.
Yes.
That's why. Okay.
Yes.
Now going forward, when the sausage system is introduced, it's already going to be on my passport. I will have no choice about that.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to have to sign up for it. Some people are saying you're going to have an app, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be much more insidious. I think we've already signed up to the sausage system, and I think the only thing we can actually do is just try to avoid how much we are accessing
the cube. What
the sausage ID system is there to help you to access, or to, obviously not to help you, to control you. Right. So,
I'll bring you back to what Lance said right at the start before the presentation. He said this was always going to happen.
Yes,
it is inevitable.
Conclusion. There is already a digital ID in loads of countries. All of the GCC countries, the rich Arab countries, all have it. Thailand has it. I think Portugal has it.
Well, we've got it. It's here. It's just not, an official.
So this
rolled into
this
one.
This is something I found here. I don't know where it's from, but someone has typed into Gemini about digital ID, and I can't see what they've actually searched. But basically, they've searched something along the lines of how would you opt out of a mandatory digital ID. This is what Gemini said. He said, since you're considering an affidavit of truth, it serves as your manual for the system. If a clerk tells you you have to download the app, you would present your affidavit or a notice of non-consent that states, what does it state?
I am a living soul and a non-digital user. Under the government inclusive decision principles and the Equality Act of 2010, you are required to provide a non-digital paper-based alternative for this service.
What you would actually need to do is you do not register for gov.uk one online account. The moment you create the account, you have contracted into the digital environment. Opt out of paperless everything. Ensure your every utility, bank and government agency, HMRC, sends you physical mail. You will pay a lot for it. Some of the companies that I interact with charge £5 a month, £5 per bill to send it to you on paper.
So the other thing, right?
Some of them like £7.95.
Let's just dissect this a little bit here. What it's saying, right? Number 2, it says ensure every utility, bank, and government agency, right, digital mail. But the thing is with this, at the moment there's cash, right? So you can, if you've got a business which you take cash with, it's fine. You can use cash and buy stuff with it. Once cash is gone. Because we all know that's going to happen, the same as we all knew digital ID. There will be a day when cash is gone.
Absolutely, there'll have to be decentralized cryptos,
and then you'll have to
that are not on this system.
Yeah.
You'll be using illegal crypto wallets to trade.
Yes.
So basically, opt out of everything, go paperless. Maintain a physical evidence folder.
So what Lance just said, they go paperless. That's only an option currently.
Sorry, opt out of going paperless.
Sorry, yes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
What I'm going to say this because I'm constantly in this battle at work. I have my mum and auntie who are well, my auntie is now too elderly, but my mum still interacts with the business, and she insists that everything is paperless. On paper. And every time she logs onto the business bank, onto a savings account, anything financial, there are always tick bottoms at the bottom. Please click. And essentially, if you don't click it, if you don't see this secret little thing, you're agreeing to it going paperless. So every time you interact with this portal that you have to interact on, even though you want paper, it's still trying to trick you into going paperless every time. So this is a real battle. I know about this because I battle it every day. Number 3, it says maintain a physical evidence folder. This is your version of a digital wallet. It's so crazy because this is what everyone was doing right up until this point throughout the whole of organised Western history. This is your version of the digital wallet. It contains your birth certificate, passport, affidavit, and recent utility bills. This folder is your identity in the physical world. That was your identity right up until the 1990s. The catch: the system will try to make this difficult. They will say the paper route takes 6 weeks, while the app takes 6 minutes, and it will. It might take 6 months, and the app might take 60 seconds. So they might have not even jazzed that bit up enough. You know what I'm saying? This is coerced consent. By having no smartphone, you remove their ability to even offer you the fast digital route. That's a boom moment. Forcing them to use the paper route. Would you like me to help draft the specific notice of non-digital status that you can keep in your folder to show officials who try to force the app on you? Now, this is an AI telling a meat suit how to beat the digital revolution. There's something poetic.
For now.
Well, for now. But the fact that an AI bot
that's wild.
is giving advice to a meat suit on how to get around the digital revolution, that is something that's noteworthy, I think. So, let's recap. Right? The Sausage Fingers ID system. Obviously, I can only comment on the UK because I only know how the UK works. The Sausage ID system is going to look to unify your digital UTR, your digital national insurance, your digital biometric driver's license, and your digital biometric passport. Okay, so if you are
full Michael,
if you are accessing all 4 levels of this cube, you're a real proper efficient goyim. You're doing it all, yeah. You are, you're earning money. You're traveling a car, going across borders. You're using the healthcare, and you're
I'm
getting
just
fined
going
in
to
the
pull a comment up here from Bazman. By carrying your papers, show me your papers, peasant. Show me your papers.
Basically, in the future, to evade the digital revolution, you'll have to carry a briefcase of your papers.
So
around
we're now. We said we were nearly in 1930s Germany, didn't we?
1926, comrade. Right, let me have a type because I'm going to think where I want to take this next. So at the moment, no one is suggesting.
Don't do that. You just use one lighter over there.
That lighter doesn't work. It's tiny.
When to take the other one.
This is my lighter.
I see.
I'm not stealing your lighter.
No.
The Sausage Fingers ID system is not suggesting that it's going to control all digital payments and stuff like that. Obviously, that's where people think it will go. And people will always use China as an example.
China.
You don't want digital ID. Look what's happening in China.
China.
Right?
Trump is in China now with Enki Musk and the tech bros.
Like I said at the start of the show, or at least earlier on, in 2020, I was stood on park benches doing speeches about China and their digital ID social credit score. Okay?
You were in your element in 2020, weren't you? You were fucking loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Fire, mate. Now, I'm just going to tell you something. The digital credit score in China is accessed by like a tiny percentage of the population.
I swear to God, that looks very similar to when I smoked DMT. Your coffee table turned into that.
Yeah, my coffee table always looks like that when I smoke DMT. Actually, if you live in somewhere like this in China, okay, there's a very good chance that you're living in a smart city. Spoiler alert! Newsflash! If you live somewhere that looks like this, you're already living in a smart city. There's a very good chance that the top earning people that live in the centre of places like this, where it is completely cashless.
Oh yeah, there's loads. Yeah.
These people,
whole regions of China.
These people may be having a social credit system linked to their city that is to do with. Let's go to the next slide. Chongqing. It's funny. Chongqing, the most futuristic city in the world. Chongqing implements the National Social Credit System. It's called the National Social Credit System, but it's not across China. It's a total myth. We've had people on customer services call us in with the Chinese missus and fucking confirm this.
Yeah.
That they've got friends that live in China, have never even heard of a social credit score. And I'm saying this as someone that was stood on the bench in 2020 shouting about this, okay? I might have been a bit over the top. I probably was. Right? So it says that this encourages using a social credit reports to optimize business and social harmony rather than a single national numerical score for citizens.
I don't think that's over the top, even if it's not everywhere. I don't think it's over the top warning about something which is so dangerous. I don't think that's over the top.
No, but it is a little bit over the top to say that people in China all live with a social credit system.
That is inaccurate.
Because it's not the case. Because newsflash, a lot of people in China, this is where they live.
Oh, we just need to big up a comment here from Cool Meow 18. Evening just made week 2 of quitting cannabis and tobacco after 33 years. Wow. Well done.
Oh, Michael.
33 years, Lance.
That's good going. That's good going.
Well done. Stay strong.
Enjoy the dreams, man. The dreams are amazing. Yes. Okay, so this is pictures of people that live in rural China. These people do not have a cashless society. They still use cash.
They probably don't even use that. They probably barter.
They trade with whatever they've got. And Thailand has a digital ID now. Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. The Thai ID card.
Oh right. Yes.
Is a digital ID card.
Yes, it is. Yes, you're right.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say here, overall, is that this is a digital ID is a way to access a smart city. Do you want to live in a smart city?
Fuck no.
Then don't do it. I know this might seem reductive and a bit like, oh yeah, it's not so easy to do that, but nothing is that's worth doing is easy. If it is slowly, incrementally moving towards a future with a sausage ID system,
SIDS,
and you live in a built-up metropolitan area.
Oh, nice, Lord Dubsworth, Thai D card.
Thai D card.
Nice, nice.
If you live in a large, built-up metropolitan area where it is physically possible to install bollards in the street,
yes.
where it's physically possible to build infrastructure that can actually stop your movement, then you are taking part by consent. No one is actually forcing you to access the services of the Black Cube organisation.
Well, travel they are.
If you want to travel,
well, yes, yes.
If you want to travel,
if you want, yeah, you're choosing.
But
yes,
hold on
you're
a
right.
minute.
You're right.
But
yes,
hold on a minute.
Correct, Lance.
Wait a minute. That's not true. If you want to pass through a port, their port, didn't Captain Tim, that's come on the show, prove that you can travel anywhere in the world without a passport?
He did.
He's living proof. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that yes, the sausage ID system is coming. I'm going to be optimistic and pragmatic about this. I will have to use a sausage ID laced driver's license and passport, and my tax and national insurance is going to be linked to a sausage ID, whether I like it or not. Am I going to download the sausage ID app on my phone? No. Because I would already, when you come to apply for a new passport or a new driving license, that's when you might have some problems.
Maybe it would be a good idea for peasants like us who don't want to partake in this. Maybe it would be a good idea to buy yourself a Nokia non-smartphone, and that's the contact number you give to the Black Cube organisation, and say, sorry, I haven't got a smartphone. Whereas you have, but they can still. That's the way they have to contact. You could do that.
The problem is though that if you've got a smartphone, that means that you must have a Google or Apple ID, unless you've got an offline smartphone, a blockchain phone. If you've got a Google or Apple ID, you're already on the sausage system.
You are already on the SIDS.
SIDS is already has got you might be getting your biometrics from that.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
So I would go as far to say that if you're really all about this life and you want to be fully Ramish, you have to get rid of your smartphone.
Yes,
that's it.
And buy a boat.
without a smartphone, you can't access the sausage system. You'll still and you force them to do it by paper, with where's it gone? With this system here. Because I guarantee that this system works. You use the UK 2010 Equalities Act and say, look, using digital systems hurts my mental health.
Yes, and sorry, I went the wrong way here. And the community here, I mean, me and Lots just joked that they barter and stuff like that. Maybe they do a little bit of that, but maybe they are.
I bet they've got high-speed internet there.
Yeah, and I guarantee this community here is a lot more tight-knit than this community living here. So where would you rather be? I'd rather be living somewhere like this than somewhere like that.
I guess what I'm saying is that the rules of the sausage system is if you want to access that, you've got to play by their rules, and that's it. If you don't want to do that, and you still want to access their system, you'll have to do it, and it'll be much, much more difficult. They'll make it so incredibly difficult you won't want to do it. So the name of the game is to make yourself into a position where you don't have to access that system, or you access it minimally. You know, I have my meat suit scanned many times every year going out of some of the sickest airports in the world, like Suvarnabhumi in Bangkok has got those body scanners. They've had them for like 15 years.
Yeah,
it's like a scene in Total Recall when I go through there. They're scanning everything in my face, and there's like a 3D model of me spinning around on the screen, and it's scanning.
Mate, same as LAX.
It's going 100% okay. Facial recognition accepted.
The only like when I often go snowboarding in St Anton on Austria, we fly into Innsbruck Airport. That's a tiny little airport. They haven't got any of that there.
No,
but when you go into big airports, they do.
It's like, for instance, when I go back and I look at
like Bournemouth Airport, I've never flown out of Bournemouth Airport. I've never gone anywhere that peasanty. But that's a small airport. I wonder if they've got all this retina scans and all of that there. I don't know.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
they
so.
haven't in Southampton Airport. They haven't got it there.
Can I get some feedback in the comments? Have I been realistic in my approach towards this announcement today?
I think you've been very fair, Michael.
You know,
realistic.
And I want to zoom in on this idea of parallel systems. Okay, it doesn't just mean things like the Ramish community. This means supporting shops that won't have facial recognition cameras. Not going to Tesco's.
We showed on was it Peasantron or Friday Night Rise Above? We showed literally a couple of weeks ago. A Tesco's Express has got the facial recognition to enter it now.
Yeah.
And the tip. A lot of the tips and recycling centres now, you go there and it's got number plate recognition, and you have to like book a slot to go there, and that's got it in there.
Yeah,
it is everywhere. It's creeping in everywhere.
I said in 2020 it's black market time, Nicky black market time. I meant it. That's what the Ramish community is, and that's what I mean when I say you must build these parallel systems to bypass the system. Okay, that's how you do it, right? Okay, so I think that's that.
You'll be winding that up.
As far as digital ID, that's as far as I want to go.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to put this. I'm not going to put the board away, because we're going to need to get the calculator out, because there's another rather serious piece of information that's come to light. It's a subject that I am absolutely sick.
This is going to be hard hitting, guys. You might not. If you've got any kids watching, listening, or anyone, you probably don't think they would like to hear this. It's not particularly nice.
This is the subject that I'm absolutely sick of talking about. We've even got flack for the fact that we've talked about it so much. I do think it's a much more serious subject than a lot of people think, and I've said it from the start. We've stood outside of migrant hotel protests.
Millions must go, Lance. Millions.
We've interviewed people. We've infiltrated the Socialist Workers' Party, the people that are saying infinite refugees welcome. And my position, my personal position, and I'm sure Andy PG shares it as well, is no matter what, I don't need any statistics, ONS figures, graphs, or reports to tell me that the young men that have been imported into the asylum hotels in the UK are per capita far, far rapier and more violent than the average man walking the streets of the UK.
I agree.
It's clearly racist.
I've been very clear about that, and my position that I come to from that, like I said, I didn't need to see any statistics to back that up. I come to that position by being quite a well-travelled person, someone who can use discernment, observation, and pattern recognition.
Yes.
With regards to the behaviour of certain demographics of men towards women compared to the behaviour of other demographics of men when in the same presence of said available women.
Yes.
Okay, so my position...
And children.
And my position on this has always been very, very clear, that if you import these young men from Afghanistan, Syria, Somalia, Eritrea, countries that literally have Pakistan, countries that literally have travel warnings about
Afghanistan,
about the safety of women, etc., etc. That it's no surprise that you're going to see hugely disproportionate amounts of sexual attacks from those young men.
Hugely disproportionate, Lance, per capita.
As we've already seen, the people that stand outside the migrant hotels saying refugees welcome completely rubbish this idea, and they give empty tropes that sexual abuse has no colour. Men from all races sexually abuse people. Yes, of course they do. And basically that the idea that there is a disparagingly high amount of sexual
Do you know
attacks
what, Lance?
is far right and racist.
I told Becky this yesterday. I saw I think it was the Bournemouth Daily Echo or the Dorset Eye or something. It was an article about a woman who recently got raped on Boscombe Beach. And I was reading the comments under it. And everyone's arguing about whether it was a migrant, blah, 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 whether they're white or not. And some fucking feminist piped up in the comments and she said, well, I know one thing's for certain. It was a man that did it. That's the problem, is men.
Of course. Now, this is the piece of information that's been doing the rounds today, and it's been shared everywhere. The first thing to point out that this is from November last year, so it's not brand new, but maybe the Overton window has shifted. The first thing that naysayers will point out is that this very shocking figure relating to our home county here of Dorset in the UK, traditionally one of the safest and most inviting counties in the country, right? This bit of information is being shared by GB Politics, which clearly has right-leaning connotations. So everyone's going to say, that's not a good source of information. So as soon as I saw this, the first thing that I did was fact check it, because the claim is that Dorset police have announced that 44% of alleged rape offences in Dorset are carried out by asylum seekers living in asylum hotels.
It's clearly racist.
44%. Now, as you can imagine, the percentage of the men living in asylum hotels compared to all of the people living in Dorset, because we're talking about the Dorset area, the whole county, it's the Dorset police.
I'm just going to Michael how many, what the population of Dorset is quickly.
Okay. This is not just the population of Bournemouth, Poole and Christchurch, the BCP conurbation, where the three hotels are.
380 to 390,000, Michael.
Okay. Well, the stats here that we're going to look at reckon 800,000.
People in Dorset?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, this is...
Oh, hang on. This says the population of the Dorset Council area. So that doesn't include BCP.
Right,
that's
okay.
not, that's the,
yeah, so
that's
this
not
is the
correct.
whole Dorset area, including BCP.
Yes.
BCP is about 500,000, so that works out 500,000. Right.
Yeah,
So,
no, you're right. Here, look, 798,000.
there you go.
Yeah,
right,
no, it's
okay,
right. That's right.
I'm
That's
glad,
right.
I'm
You're
glad.
right.
We didn't want to. This is important. We're going to get these figures right because I need to put this argument to bed.
Michael, I've got the calculator ready.
I've got the Schwaber's board ready.
This one's for you, Josh.
Okay. Oh no, I've just got rid of the screen. Let me just get the screen back. I tried to get rid of the chat, but I got rid of the screen.
Baz keeps messaging me, and he knows he's actually watching.
What is
well, he messaged me.
Is he sending memes or something?
No. He sent me his disturbing news just in. This was yesterday. A girl sexually assaulted by Afghan migrant who got into school toilets. I saw that one, but I didn't want to just showcase that.
Yeah, I know.
What you got to do is go on social media and say
here's
it's
the
horrible.
thing: we don't want to just keep broadcasting bad news, and there's certainly no point in keep broadcasting every time one of those stories comes up.
No,
some people think it's fake. It's definitely not. It's definitely real. Right. I asked Gemini. Did Dorset police really announce that 44% of alleged sex offences in Dorset committed by asylum seekers? Right. Gemini, this is Google AI. It said, based on a Freedom of Information Act,
freedom?
A Freedom of Information disclosed by Dorset police late 2020, early 2026, figures indicated that high proportions of individuals waiting for prosecution for sexual offences in specific areas were asylum seekers. A stat has generated significant discussion. So what does it say? Dorset police data shows that out of 116 males awaiting prosecution. All right, one sec. Oh, shit. So that's 116 males. Okay.
Awaiting prosecution.
Right, 116 males awaiting prosecution. 51 of them. This is the whole Dorset area. Remember, the whole county. 51 of them are asylum seekers. That's 44%. Fucking hell.
It's ridiculous, Lance.
Fucking hell. That's a lot. Okay, so
Casey Conley, my presentation on Restore Britain is coming. Don't worry.
44% of 116 males awaiting prosecution. The first thing to point out is that doesn't mean 116 rapes.
No.
It means a minimum of 116 rapes. This could be any amount of different offences because some of these men will have committed multiple offences. So let's point that out for starters. Okay? The figure represents individuals charged or awaiting prosecution, alleged offenders, rather than total convictions. Okay? Reports noted that this group accounts for a significant percentage of charges despite representing a very small fraction of the total population. Approximately 600 asylum seekers in BCP out of a population of 800,000. Ooh. So
It's clearly
600 out of 800,000. What's the percentage? I already know it off by heart. It's 0.08%. Right? So that is slightly under a 0.1% of the population of the county. I've committed 44 or allegedly or awaiting prosecution or awaiting trial 44% of the sexual assaults, rapes.
That is fucking unacceptable in any society. You can't be to anyone who's shouting refugees welcome here, asylum seekers aren't like that. Come on, man. You're fucking LARPing. You're LARPing at life.
Anyone that is now, I mean, listen, this is just our county. This is just Dorset.
Which is a very, like, it's a sleepy little county, Dorset.
If this is a microcosm of what's happening at every county, which I'm sure
it's a fucking
it is,
farming county.
This is much, much, much worse than even the most knuckle-dragging, flag-waving, roundabout painting far-right meathead would have suggested.
The gammon, Lance.
The most gammon-tastic, Tomo Rabbistein,
Gammon-tastic.
roundabout crusader helmet-wearing meathead would have never said it was this bad.
Yeah.
But it's much worse, right? It's much worse because when you actually start to talk about per capita...
Fuck, imagine what this is like in Birmingham or...
Andy PG.
Liverpool or something.
Right, for anyone that doesn't understand per capita, this is the big one that really, really upsets the apple cart. Per capita...
Oh, yes. The lefties don't seem to understand this.
Per capita is usually worked out how many times something happens against an amount of people, like a crime or something like that. You can use it for this, okay? And the amount of people usually used is 10,000 or 100,000. Andy PG, I would like you to Google the per capita rate of rape in the UK. So this is going to be a number, which is going to be the amount of rapes per 100,000 people on complete average for a given year, which is usually the last year recorded.
So it's just given me England and Wales. I asked for the whole of the UK. In England and Wales, police recorded approximately 117 to 120 rapes per 100,000 Michaels.
Right. So
Hermes just broken in the studio.
All right, we've got to be careful with Hermes because we don't want him going on the driver's board.
People in recent annual reporting periods with figures from the Office of National Statistics recording over 71,000 rapes.
Okay. So the UK rate, let's say it's 120, the high one. We'll go for 120. It's 120 rapes per 100,000 people. So let's just assume that these are 116 males in total, 44% of them, which are asylum seekers,
Radical
right?
mariners. Lots.
Let's just assume, for the sake of these mathematics, that is 116 offences. We know it's more, but we're just going to say it's 116. Divide 116. Well,
whoa. Hang on.
Yeah, can we take Hermes out? Because
Oh, mate, Hermes, I'm so sorry, dude.
Really sorry, Sir Hermes.
We're
getting very technical here. We're drawing diagrams. We've got the calculator out. So I'm just going to reiterate. The average rate of sexual assault per 100,000 people in the UK is 120 sexual assaults per 100,000 people.
Sorry, say that again, Lance. Say that again.
The average rate of rape in the UK per 100,000 people per year is 120 per 100,000 people.
I've got Josh messaging me here, live, in real time. Okay. Can you do some more maths? You need to take out children, women, and over 65s from the 800,000.
No, you don't. It's per capita of all people, Josh. That's not how you work it out, mate. You work it out per per capita of people, per 100,000 people. That's not how you work it out. Anyway, for 800,000 people and 116 cases, you can already see that the per capita rape in Bournemouth is far lower than the national average, because we've got 116 per 800,000 people.
Yes, yes.
Right? But what about when you do 116, the per capita of those asylum seekers? Do you know how you would work this out?
Go on.
No, I'm asking you, because I worked it out earlier and I already forgot. So if they said 55 cases, 55 rapes, okay?
Which was reported from Radical Mariners.
Yeah.
55, say that, yeah.
So if you take it, there's 116, there's 55 males.
Yes.
Okay. There's 116, there's 600. Right, we need to divide 600 by 100,000. I'm not very good at maths. I worked this out earlier, and I worked out
0.006. That's come up as.
Right, let me think about this. Because I worked this out earlier, and I worked out the rate of per capita rapes for those asylum seekers. Imagine if there were 100,000 of those asylum seekers.
Fuck.
Right, and how many rapes there are per people. 55 per 600.
55 per 600, yes.
So if you take 100,000 and you divide it by...
We'll divide that by 600.
Yeah. 16.6.
There you go. That's it. I did the other way. I did 100,000 divided by... Sorry, I did 600 divided by 100,000.
Can anyone else that's better at maths than us work out how bad this is? Because earlier on, I worked out that it's a 7,500% increase.
A 7,500% increase?
The per capita rate earlier on, I worked it out to be 7,500%, 75 times higher for the migrants in the hotel compared to the average UK person.
Wow.
The rate that they have... I've got the figures on the screen here, guys. 55. Let's put it up. Can anybody else work this out for me? Let's get interactive. We're talking about 55 offences.
SS, Lance.
Right, 55 offences committed by 600 people. Can anybody scale that up to me? To 100,000 live on air? Because I'm not very good at maths. I'd like somebody else to do it. I'd like to see what the per capita rate is for those 600 men.
Let's ask Rock.
If there were 100,000 of them. Because I just want to make sure that I got it right earlier on.
Here you go. Let's ask Rock. Let's ask Rock. You ask Rock the question. Here you go. Hi, Grok. I've got Lance next to me. He's going to ask you a question. Please be friendly to him.
If 600 men committed 55 robberies, what would be the per capita rate of 100,000?
So if 600 men committed 55 robberies, that's about 9 robberies per 100 men. To scale that to per 100,000, it comes out to roughly 9,167 robberies per 100,000 people.
Could you just repeat that, please? Did they say 9,000?
Yes, it's yeah. So if 600 men committed 55 robberies, that's about 9 robberies per 100 men. To scale that per 100,000, it comes to about roughly 9,160 robberies per 100,000 people. 9,167 per 100,000 peasants.
Can we now find out what percentage of 9,167, 120 is? What percentage increase is that? And if anyone thinks that we're getting this wrong, I'd love to let you know how. I'd love you to let us know how.
Go on, say it again. Go on, lads. Ask the question. Wait.
What percentage of 9,167 is 120?
About 1.3%.
If you saw 120 increase to 9,167, what would be the percentage increase? Why is it not working?
Oh, hang on, one sec.
I believe that's a 7,000% increase. Yeah? Are we getting this right or wrong? What percentage increase is 100 to 9,167?
That's an increase of over 9,000%. Specifically, about 9,167%.
Well, yeah, because you asked for 100.
Okay, all right.
It was 120.
Okay, so I worked it out earlier to be 7,500%. I wasn't far off.
No, you were. Yeah, it was 9,000. I mean, it's just fucking remarkable.
It is unbelievable. No one is. Can anyone like come up with an excuse for this?
It's
why
clearly
that's so
racist.
high?
That's it, Lance.
Sorry.
Keir Starmer just said it. That's the excuse.
So next time you see someone stood outside of a migrant hotel saying "infinite refugees,"
draped in a Palestine tea towel,
saying "I'm here for women's rights," just remember the per capita rate of rape for asylum seekers in in Dorset is 9,167 compared to a UK rate of 120. And do you know what really takes the piss? That UK rate of 120 includes that ludicrous asylum rate. That's actually Schwab's into that 120 figure, artificially increasing it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, Michael.
And that's happening in every county that has these hotels. So, Antarctic Comedy saying this is comedy gold.
I mean, it's not actually funny, but
it's not funny.
The way we're presenting it is funny.
We like to try and break it up.
Well, that was pretty disgusting, Lance.
Yeah,
you finished there.
Do you know what? I want that to be the last time that I have to talk about this subject, because as far as I'm concerned, that is the absolute nail in the coffin for anyone that tries to come with the argument that there is not a problem with ludicrously disproportionate amounts of per capita, namely sexual crimes.
9,000 times.
A 9,000%. It represents a 9,000% increase. Like I said to you, Andy PG, in statistics, a 9% increase is. Oh, look at that, 9% increase.
A 9,000 is quite frankly retarded.
A 90% increase. Fucking hell.
Yes.
A 90% increase. That's almost doubled. A 9,000% increase. That means 90. Or is that 90 or 900 times?
That's
higher?
900 times.
It's 900 times higher. They're not just doing it like twice as much or like 10 times as much. Yeah, 10 times as much. It's 900 times as much. Fucking hell. Literally unbelievable. Okay.
Oh, Michael.
Something slightly more light-hearted before Andy PG shatters the illusion of Uncle Rupert.
The fairy tale of Uncle Rupert. I'm so sorry, everyone.
And the person he's going to use to shatter the illusion of Uncle Rupert.
He's my favourite. He's my favourite.
He's going to be as alarming to some people as anything.
Stay tuned, everyone. Stay tuned.
Okay.
We've got 211 peasants
It's
currently
not bad.
tuned in.
Big up everyone that's tuned in, and don't forget, if you want the full rabbit, you need to get over to Patreon. Let me just put the QR code on the screen.
I'm just going to ping over the watch party in WhatsApp.
Nice one. So, antivirus. This cruise ship situation that's going on.
Hebrew virus.
Hebrew virus. Let me get rid of the. Let me get rid of this.
Oh, the Hebrew virus. Directly from Rabbi
I've got a
Shmuley.
feeling the clips of that, what we just said there, and when we got the calculator out, that's some of those clips are going to go viral. I hope so. Right, what is going on with this Hunter virus? There's a lot of 33s straight away. I mean, one of them I circled
There's
here.
always so many 33s.
I don't know if everyone has spotted the other 33. Maybe the text is a little bit small. Maybe. 3 passengers dead after suspected hantavirus outbreaks on a cruise ship. Dutch husband and a wife, and a third unidentified person are reported to have died, with 3 further people taken ill. So there's actually a 333 there, and obviously it says the 33-day Atlantic Odyssey that turned into a hantavirus nightmare. What's going on? Are they trying a new pandemic? Are the hooks, the fishing lines and the hooks, are they going out to try and hook people? I did wonder about this when it happened with COVID, when it happened with COVID-19.
The problem is, like, I saw Baz on social media. He put up a post saying when the social engineers or whoever put out a new pandemic and the peasants just laugh. It was funny and it has happened, but the problem is if there was an actual threat, like, everyone's just going to laugh at it, and that's the problem now, because it's like the boy who cried wolf, isn't it? When post-19, now whenever they do anything, whenever Bill Gates is rolled out to talk about the need for a fucking vaccine, everyone's
just going to laugh at it, make
mate.
memes about it.
Fuck off.
But the problem is, here's the problem, PG. There are many people in the tinfoil hat community, especially, that are now so far down one particular nook and cranny of their own personal rabbit hole,
the crevice,
that they think that, obviously viruses are totally not real. There's no
virus,
no such thing as a virus. Terrain theory. They're saying that. So then they go even further down with that. There are no such thing as pathogens. There are not all of this is fake. There are no such thing as killer lab created pathogens and stuff. Of course there are. Like, there are the most disgusting biological chemicals you can possibly imagine. Those are not false flags. They're not psyops.
It's all 6G, Lance.
But this is dangerous because, like PG says, when a real dangerous bioweapon that literally causes like some sort of semi-famine or plague or something is released, people will just make memes about it and laugh, and they will refuse to take the precautions and stuff like that. I've got no doubt that could be a possibility, and at some stage that could happen. But I mean, all the signs are there that this is like a stupid distraction rather than potentially they're trying something. As
soon as you see the 33, that's the whole point of why we showcase.
And the thing is, now everybody knows. We've been beating a horse with the 33.
Clandus Ovens has been talking about 33. Make sure you keep Hermes out.
I will.
He wants to come in. So let us know in the comments section, guys. What do you think about the Hebrew virus? Do you think it's valid, or do you think it's just one big LARP again? Yes, Lance said to remind everyone about them. I've got this tote bag here. If you want to win it with some Ramesh goodies in there, you've got to sign up to Patreon. It's £3 a month, $3.33. You can get this Ramesh wares. There's hundreds and hundreds of, probably thousands of hours of videos on there that me and Lance have done over the last year and a half now. I think we've been going on Patreon, and like Lance said earlier, it's a proper little community. There's people in the chat there. There's lots going on in the Patreon feeds. There's watch parties. There's watch party suggestion section. So if you think there's something cool that we would want to showcase to the peasants, then hit us up, put it in there, and we can have a little look, see what's going on. I'm just gonna go for a piss, Lance, and then should we get the Uncle Rupert fairy tale going?
Yeah, because the Hebrew virus is the final thing in my presentation, actually. Yeah, cool. All right. I might just play a little 1-minute video. We'll have a micro break. Actually, weapons of mass distraction.
Reports of a plane crash in the World Trade Center in New York.
Outside Liverpool Street Station.
11 people have been confirmed dead in an attack on the controversial French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo. 5 people are in critical condition.
Have been killed in Paris and more than 200 are injured in a series of attacks across the city.
There have been 2 explosions at Brussels airport and the house at the city centre metro station.
It's double L, you've heard of me, the flow's poison, liquid mercury. Hear my voice when I curse this beat, I let it moisten before surgery. Guilty in charge, repeat offender, for revealing elitist agenda. Still at large, delete the data, success or defeat or retreat or surrender. And I can't let go, killer artist Charlie Hebdo. That's a false flag, actors in tow, and the blame is slow for the media show. 2 weeks later, Copenhagen, could it be baited these global pagans? These traitors feed off people hating, so nothing's changing. Guilty in charge, repeat offence. My arse is back on the bench, the prosecution speaks my offensive views of my former defence, so hence sort the weak from the chat, the covert conflicts, rearranged maps, government funded, hidden bloodbaths, or is misinformation way off the ground. So seek out multiple sources, be beware of malevolent forces, they steer clear minds off courses, hold your aura strong like a fortress, and operate in a lawless state. The internet's like an open gateway, I gain knowledge at raucous rates that I disseminate with flawless pace. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions, fearful thoughts gain traction, step one in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions, that's a direct action, breaking down our human attraction.
Not really free your mind, it's free yourself from mind. That's why society is structured to completely engross us in things to occupy our mind. Open your mind.
There's a war going on through our minds, for our attention, for our lives, and it keeps going on because we remain blind. The system is shoveling shit in our eyes. Consume this, watch that, or anything on a big screen that's flat. Distractions come in many formats. Time is one thing you never claw back. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction. Step one in a chain reaction. Playing GTA, well, you're flushing the focus away. I'm cruising through this breathing illusion. Why do I need your game to play? This is real, are you feeling me? It's all vice in the city, no liberty. Put down the Xbox controller when I bust a verbal soliloquy. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's a direct action, breaking down our human attraction. There's no need for a power up, I discharge my aura. Climb a mountain, cross a border, attack a naught in a mind explorer. I want a PSC, a teleporter, to a land with no structural order. No distractions from warring factions, leading people like lambs to the slaughter. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step one in a chain reaction. See me, I write about issues, you wipe joypads with tissues. Unconsciously moving along while your awareness is stuck in situ. For your mind it's a major misuse, you're online, settling disputes. In a deathmatch throwing a smoke grenade, I'm in a sound clash smoking big suits. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step one in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's a direct action, breaking down our human attraction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step one in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's a direct action, breaking down our human attraction.
Bring us in.
1 2 1 2. We are back in the house. Let us know we're sounding all right because we actually had this computer kicked us out then in the middle of that play, and luckily we obviously have a double rig, multi-rig going on here in the studio. Big shout out to everybody tuned in. It's Friday night. We are live. I just need to get some of the cameras back because we've lost some of our operational
hardware
functionality here. I think we also need to get this other camera back as well, which was
shout out to Juicy and Lucy there. We'll see you in the chat, guys.
Okay, let's get back to the. I think we've made a point in that one. Oh no, wait a minute. The Hanta virus. There is a little bit more to say because obviously everyone knows this, but Hanta is Hebrew slang for basically fraud, nonsense, lie, something fake. Basically calling BS. That's a load of crap. But what's really interesting is it's also Hungarian slang as well for something very similar. How synchronistic, how synergetic is that? That recently we were talking about Viktor Orban and this
and the Magi.
and P Magi guy. Hungarians come with the ancient Magi
and now this
thing last weekend, and now
Hungary's on the map at the moment.
What is it about Hungary and the little hats? What is it? Is it something to do with the ancient Magi?
Mate, when you said the other day about about maybe they're trying about because I said about Poland and Hungary, they're the two that have been infiltrated by the radical Mariners, and you then said, well, maybe they're trying to keep a couple of countries free if they need to go there. And I was like, fuck, well, Netanyahu's Polish as well.
Well, mate, that's what I thought when I was in Georgia last week, right? And you remember I sent you the video when I was feeling really Tony Hawk.
Yes.
I was feeling a bit very General Pinochet. Because I was looking
Lars
around.
was like that. Lars was like, look at what's been stolen from us.
We don't have to live like this.
Look at what they've taken from us.
So I was in the centre of Tbilisi in Georgia.
It looked lovely, Lance. To be
which
fair.
is, you know, it's a second world country. It's an ex-Soviet country, not supposed to be, you know, well corrupt apparently. Not really part of the EU yet, wanting to be part of the EU. I'm in the centre of the capital city in one of the 3 beautiful parks. Right, I look around. There's no gangs of young African migrants.
No fucking...
There weren't even any drunks. There were no drug addicts. There was no rubbish. There were no gangs of local teenagers causing a nuisance.
There was no one driving past on a little electric government scooter bike to nick your phone.
There was just regular people. There weren't even many tourists. It looked like they were just local people there enjoying the park with their kids. There was some dude selling like £2.50 hot dogs dressed in a suit and tie with some beautiful Georgian wine. And I'm just like... look what they have taken from us.
Yes,
and
what they've taken from us.
And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, why doesn't Georgia have loads of orcs? Well, you know, who's got the 3rd highest concentration of little hats after New York and Israel?
Is it Georgia?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's sort of like their part.
Caucasus Mountains.
It's part, this is part of their home. It's part of their home, isn't it? So blatantly, it's got like Israel, like border rules. I mean, last time I was there, 6 weeks ago, some people when I got there said, "Oh, be careful. There's loads of like I think they were saying Armenian or Azerbaijani beggars and gypsies have turned up." And a couple of times I had people come up to me in the street and I had to be like, back off, get back like that, because they were like, "I'll give me something," and I was like, "Get the fuck back!" Like keeping my arm's length. Well, I noticed they weren't there anymore. I thought, why is that? Loads of them came. Oh, guess what? Someone probably complained about them to the police, and the police said,
they did something.
Oh, we'll round them up and deport them.
Yeah.
And now they're not there anymore. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. The stupid second-rate ex-Soviet country, you know, doesn't have any of that. So what? Okay, we've taken a little bit of a segue there. Back to hantavirus. Apart from it being Hungarian and Hebrew slang for basically rubbish, is also listed as one of the side effects for kosher-19 Britney Spears injection.
Oh,
Michael. Come on! Perfect. I think that was... and also, another thing that people said is, if we've got these cruise ships that are dead in the water, with everyone's quarantined, why is everyone not going live on TikTok like they were in COVID, yeah? So, there were a couple of people, but one of them was like... related to government, US government ministers.
And then this LARPer.
And then there's the other guy is basically a kosher-19 crisis actor.
Yeah.
So they're not even trying.
They're not even trying.
And obviously we have
Is this like a low budget kosher-19?
Very low budget.
kosher-19.
It's like the sequel to kosher-19, but it's set on a cruise ship and the budget's really low. You know what I mean? And while all of this is going on, this thing that's what I've got on the screen right now. This isn't like some isolated incident. This is This is one of a long string of incidents of massive child porn, child sex ring, child trafficking ring busts that are involving Disney employees. This time, it's
who'd have thought it?
A Disney cruise ship. Officers confirmed 27 out of the 28 subjects were involved in either the receipt, possession, transportation, distribution, or viewing of CSEM, which I guess is child sexual exploitational material.
Dirty fuckers.
Pretty good guess.
Dirty fuckers.
Or child pornography. A spokesperson for CBP said in a statement to Variety, right, they cancelled their visas. Disney cruise staffers arrested among 28. So I wonder how many of the 28 that were arrested were members of this Disney cruise. Now, remember, the Disney cruise had been linked to Epstein Island before in a special trip. Remember this? Of course. Yeah? Is it a coincidence that this story is happening simultaneously as the Hanta, the bullshit virus, the Hebrew virus, How can we combine
Hebraic
Hebrew and Hungarian?
Oh.
Yeah, it's because it's a Hungarian slang as well for bullshit. While that's going on, this too, really, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure I can say that there's no link between these two happenings. I think it could be obvious.
This is Restore Britain, so we'll leave this. We'll leave this for now. We'll,
all right. Okay. So Andy PG.
We'll whip over to the WhatsApp down here. And
recently, there is a new character on the scene in UK politics. Look, we all know politics is fake and gay before anyone starts getting their knickers in a twist about what I'm about to say. And obviously, it's the people that don't think politics is fake and gay that's going to get more of their knickers in a twist about the video that Andy PG is about to play. Oh my God, that's Nick Griffin.
It is Nick Griffin.
Pause that video.
It is Nick Griffin. Lance, can you...
Fuck's sake, we're broadcasting a Nick Griffin
Can you just
double
check the audio? I'm just putting it in the correct place.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you just wiped that. It's okay.
Okay. Right. Why are we watching a Nick Griffin interview?
Right,
on a Friday night?
I'll explain.
It's because this is about Uncle Rupert.
Right,
Rupert Lowe.
I'll explain.
Go on. All right.
Everyone has been talking about Restore Britain because Uncle Rupert is saying all the right things to everyone, and everyone wants it. And me and Lance have been discussing this on Patreon, showing his posts, his social media posts, because they're fucking wild. It's arguably much better than Trump's posts. Went back in the day when Trump was controversial.
And for anyone that's not familiar with us talking about this, I need to make my position clear. Politics is fake and gay. And I've said from the start, if I believed in politics, then I would vote for Uncle Rupert. I've always said the inner peasant inside of me is saying, go on, vote for Uncle Rupert. Listen to what he's saying. I know politics is fake and gay, but we have been observing the phenomenon.
Yes. So the reason I'm showing Nick Griffin here is because this was just a segment of a podcast that he went on with some, I don't know who this dude is, and he asked Nick what his take is on Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain. And Nick Griffin, for anyone who doesn't know, has been around the block as a UK politician, and he is definitely not part of the establishment. He's well ousted. He's on no-fly list. He can't do fuck all. Right, and now he's an author. He's not very wealthy. He's he's got a very moderate sort of 4 or 5 bedroom house. He's a big family man. I think he's got 9 grandchildren. He's an author now. He's definitely not establishment. He's completely ousted from the establishment, but he's been in politics all his life, so he knows a lot. And I thought it was very interesting what he said, because me and Lance still haven't worked out why Uncle Rupert and Restore Britain are even on the menu.
I think you might have missed out a massive part of the story about Nick Griffin that some people are going to be looking at him going really alarmed.
Well, anyone who's watched who's subscribed to Patreon,
but we're not on Patreon.
Okay,
people haven't. We might need to explain this.
So
Andy PG.
in our Patreon, we've got a series called An Evening With, and we showcase all sorts of characters who are
usually very controversial. Yeah,
controversial characters or political agitators, or just anyone we deem is worth viewing. And I did An Evening with Nick Griffin, which was actually a really, really good 3-hour piece.
It was eye-opening because when Andy brought it to the table, I was like, wait a minute, isn't Nick Griffin that old school racist from the BNP? And he was the leader of the BNP.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
All I remember about Nick Griffin from when in the 90s, when I wasn't interested in politics, was he was supposed to be a racist that hated black people and Asians, and was basically well racist. That's all I knew about him. And I was like, Andy PG, seriously, we watch this. Anyway, I watched the video, and I was...
It was three interviews that I showed of Nick Griffin, and we broke it down and spoke about it, and Lance was like, fuck.
It blew my mind because it didn't actually come across that he was actually racist. He was simply pro-European and pro-white, which there's nothing wrong with that.
He's a nationalist.
He was a nationalist, a Christian nationalist. And basically he was saying many things that were super true about the Zionist mainframe, Tommy Rabbistein, and he was saying things that we had said that no one else was saying, and other people thought that we were extreme for saying those things. And I was like, wait a minute, is Nick Griffin the good guy? And Andy PG sort of stretched my rabbit hole a little bit, because I just thought this guy is just some stupid old racist. There's no point in listening to him. He's just that guy from the BNP. He got cancelled, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember he got cancelled. Maybe this is why. So
do you know how I got onto Nick Griffin? Because I saw a post he wished David Irving happy 90th birthday.
So
he said that David Irving's very ill. He's not in good health. And I was
So
like,
you can tell which way Nick Griffin's bread is buttered by the fact that he wished.
But this podcast here, where this dude just asks Nick for his opinion on Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain, he doesn't say anything controversial. He just gives his honest opinion.
So we're going to listen to about 20 minutes of this.
Excuse me.
And this is Nick Griffin, the ex-leader of the BNP, giving his take on why Rupert Lowe is on the scene. Is that right?
Yeah, why he's on the menu potentially. He said it's not set in stone. This is a theory of his.
Okay,
People have a choice, and they'll think if I vote Rupert Lowe, I'm going to vote Angela. I'm going to get Angela Rayner or whoever it is. So sorry, Rupert, I will vote for reform. I know this will happen. It happens. You probably remember in the Substack I wrote, the first one I wrote about the subject. I went into a bit of detail about 1979 and the National Front. In 1977 and 78, the National Front became briefly England's third party. We displaced the Liberals, so it was Labour, Tory, National Front. It was huge in terms of mass support. And then Maggie Thatcher said one word, swamped. She said, I understand that the British people feel they're being swamped by immigration. She didn't even say, we're going to stop immigration, we're going to deport 500,000, anything like that. No promises, just I understand people feel they're being swamped. We've got to do something about it. And I was campaigning in Ipswich, was more or less my hometown at the time. And we got a fantastic support as we went round Ipswich in the last couple of weeks, mainly with a loudspeaker car and so on. Honks of support, waves, thumbs up. 10 times the number of votes we actually got in the end, which was less than 500. And I spoke to some people and say, I'd love to vote for you. You're absolutely right. I really can't stand the Tories, but Maggie has said she's going to do something about immigration and she can get elected. You can't. So sorry, I'm not going to vote for them. I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for them. And exactly the same thing will happen in 2029. Now, if Rupert Lowe was...
Sorry, just before you move on too far, I understand what you're saying about Farage, but I guess 2 points I'd push back on is the Farage use of Rupert Lowe incident where he was chucked out of Reform and arrested and everything. And surely, let's just say in theory, Restore get 3 or 4% of the vote in 2029. Surely if Reform go from 30 to 26, 27, that would be hugely detrimental. So I take your point about the business aspect, but surely those two aspects would be really nice.
Overall, I think that Lowe is probably a loose cannon being promoted by and encouraged and incited by the counter-jihad operation, and that on balance, I think probably Nigel has nothing to do with it. I merely raise it as it's a possibility. If it is...
Did he say counter-jihad operation?
Yes.
Okay.
Then what will happen is I would suspect that although Lowe is going to keep his 120,000 members and rising by the day, hanging on for the next 3 years, doing nothing, which is my problem with it, they should be organising in our communities, as Indigenous communities. They should be working. Instead, they're not. They're sitting saying, we'll all vote. It's all going to come all right. It's an excuse for total idleness. It's really, really wrong. But if Lowe is in cahoots with Farage, all that will happen just before the election, they'll do a deal, and Rupert will simply announce, Nigel has agreed to stand down against me in Great Yarmouth, and in return, we're not fighting against them because it would only let the Labour Party in. And his people can't do anything about it because in order to stand these days for a political party, you have to have the signature of the nominating officer, who is one of Rupert Lowe's closest men. So it simply won't happen. They won't stand anywhere. Then they don't get the 3%. So that's entirely possible. That he's still that will be the end result. On the other hand, it's possible that Lowe is an incited loose cannon, in which case he's staggeringly stupid, because I pointed out, and it's blatantly obvious, that he can't win in 2029. At most, what could happen, as you say, supposing they got 6% of the vote, then that basically means Reform probably win 40 or 50 seats, no more than that. They get 8%, Reform don't win any. And then we get, by default, we get a bigger left bloc landslide than we saw last time around. That's the best that Rupert Lowe could do. He certainly can't win. But if he were to say on account of that, we're going to spend the next 3 years, my army of 150,000 people, which will be in a couple of months, and the 2 million present a year that the membership alone brings in, and they don't get anything for it, so it's simply money coming in. So we're going to spend that £2 million and more money that we can raise on real in-depth local community building, and especially we're going to get to work registering voters. Because, you know, Dan, there's 10 million people in Britain not registered to vote. That's people, I'm not talking illegal immigrants, they're not entitled to vote. There's 10 million people who are entitled to vote, but not even on the electoral register. Now, a few of them will be young, feral Africans and so on in London and Birmingham, who are simply outside the whole political process. It's certainly not the Muslims, the Sikhs or the Hindus, because all those groups, and for that matter, the Black African Christians and so on, they understand that votes is power, and they all make sure their people are registered to vote. So the people who aren't registered to vote, about 8 million of them are white working class Brits. And they're not registered to vote because they think all politicians are scum. They're all in it for themselves and they won't make any difference. But Rupert Lowe has enough.
Well, he's certainly not wrong there, is he?
No, he's not. No,
that's a fair assessment. He's saying there's 8 million people. In the UK
listen
like
to
that.
what he's saying here. This gets a bit juicier when as this goes on.
Enough of an outrageous factor that his people knocking on doors in their own communities could get those people to vote. I know it can work because we did it in the BNP in one experimental place up in Cumbria. And in a town of 6,000 people, we registered an extra 800 voters. It took us 5 months of a small group of people doing. For us, if they weren't supportive, we said thank you very much and went away. If they were supportive, we got them to register, and where possible, we got them postal votes. If Lowe did that we had about 200 units with 12,000 people as members. Lowe's got 10 times that. He could have 1,000 operating units. He could spend some money training them, and the main thing they could do would be to mobilise this enormous white working class vote, which 8 million people is twice what Nigel Farage got at the last general election. Keir Starmer was only elected with 9 million votes. It's a vast number. And if Lowe was serious, he'd say to his people, we won't stand in 2029. Don't worry. We're going to work. In 2029, Nigel will get elected, and you'll know he'll let us down. We do. We'll know that if he deports a fraction of the 400,000 he's now said he's going to deport over 5 years, that'll be more than balanced by the huge number of Indians he's going to let in, because Reform's policy is quite actually open, although people don't understand it. It's not no immigration. It's net zero immigration. For every Brit who leaves, for every Brit who dies, you've got to have 2 people in to maintain the balance, because that's what the capitalist system needs. And Nigel is there for the capitalist system. So he will let his voters down. And if Rupert Lowe and co were organised for after that, then they could become a very powerful force, not least for the last thing I'll say on this before we move on, is that when Farage gets people elected in large numbers, it always turns out that within a few months, a lot of them are leaving him, they can't work with him, or he axes them or whatever, and they defect. Who are they going to defect to in the House of Commons? So they could defect to the Tories, but the Tories are a busted flush. But why would they defect, even if Rupert Lowe does get re-elected? Why would they go to him when he's got nothing to offer them at grassroots level? If he spent the next 3 years building a community-level organisation, the most powerful right-wing organisation this country will ever have seen is within his grasp, then all those people wanting to leave Reform, MPs, would understand, if I switch to Restore, I've got a real chance of being elected at the next general election, and they would do so. So Rupert Lowe would very rapidly go from being one man to being one of the most powerful blocks in Parliament, keeping Nigel Farage and co in office as long as they did what he told them. So that's what he's throwing away with this childish nonsense about overcoming Farage and co and winning in 2029. Something strange is going on.
I think both parties as well are very it's not a nice thought. Imagine if next week Farage or Lowe were hit by a bus. Both parties would just collapse because they're one-man bands. But before we move on to the next topic, this wasn't advertised because it only came out in the news yesterday. Zia Youssef's announcement about putting these migrant detention centres in green areas. I've had mixed views on this, because part of me thinks people that vote green, they prefer immigration. I kind of get it.
Yeah,
but
green
at the same
voters would
time,
love
I guess
it.
You've got areas where Reform might get 30% of the vote and come second, and those locations would still get those senators if the Greens win. And it could be seen as quite a malicious thing where people actually get turned off by Reform. But I don't know if you've got any views yourself.
I think it's just about they are aware that Restore, they're not breathing down their necks, but they are a danger for the split vote problem. And so Farage is carefully calibrating the party to the right, and a little bit of sort of outrageous stuff. It's not a serious policy, but it's something that ordinary people in the pub near me say, yeah, give them some. That's what they need. So it just helps to sink in and maintain the fact that Rupert Lowe isn't the only one who's telling it like it is, and immigration is willing to do something. So it's just a little bit of manoeuvring, and I don't think it's actually serious. No, I don't think is it a good thing? It's quite funny, isn't it? But it's very unfair on those people. And what proportion of the population might elect a Green MP? 25% of the voters in a close contest.
Wait a minute.
But only 50% are going to vote.
How have I only just noticed that you're wearing a Restore Britain t-shirt? Literally, I've only just noticed that.
Well, I thought it was appropriate.
So that's only 12.5%, and 10 million people aren't registered to vote. So it's about 10% of the population, top whack, in a given area, votes Green. And as a punishment, they get a load of asylum seekers dumped on them. So the only thing I will say is I used to say, and still to a degree say the same thing, or something vaguely similar, which is that I have a certain schadenfreude when people in a very rich area like
Wait a minute. A schadenfreude? Did he just use some Germanic
I think he might have.
Phrase there? Was that... What?
I think he might have.
What is going on?
Or whatever. When they suddenly find that an immigrant centre in their patch, in an old RAF base in their patch or whatever, is devaluing their properties. Well, boo bloody who? Because when it was white working class communities being smashed to buggery and having their girls gang raped and all the rest of it, these snobbish bastards didn't want to know. And they sneered down their noses at the BNP because we were knuckle dragging working class scum. So now they get a bit of what they should have helped their poorer compatriots stand against in the first place. So I'm not totally eaten up with sympathy for the middle classes in these leafy lanes who are now suffering what ordinary people have suffered for a long time.
Thank you, Nick. We've taken 55 minutes to do 2 of the 5 topics of the night because you can talk. Okay. So we'll move on.
Well, you've got a choice. You can either rush me through or you can park 1 or 2 of them, or we come back another time. So
okay, we'll just see how we go. We'll see how we go.
You have to tell me because I can talk. I make up a donkey, as you know.
No, that's fine. We'll keep going. Nick, talk now about the prospect, or your view that some are encouraging the prospect of civil conflict, civil war in the UK. So, I'm of an Irish background. The one that comes to my mind is always Northern Ireland, where you had 2 very distinct communities, both large communities.
You're from Northern Irish, by the way, or Republic?
No, they're from the Republic side. Yeah, the Catholic side. So, obviously, the Catholic community in Northern Ireland's grown and grown, and it's overtaken the Protestant community now. But it was always 2 very big, distinct communities fighting each other, conflict, all the rest of it. In Britain, it's not the case. There's a much... What's the word I'm looking for? There's lots of different groups.
Yes.
There's not 2 clear big groups, especially in places like London, Birmingham, etc. So why do you think some are encouraging civil conflict? And I guess I'm a bit lost about who the actual conflict would be between, who would be on each side.
Well, you're right in terms of the sheer diversity. It does actually, to a degree, diffuse the problem. When it's just one group A against group B, and they're rubbing up against each other, and there's no one else there, that's when it's at its worst. which, bear in mind, if you judge by London, yeah, it's not really like that. If you go to Birmingham, actually, it is. It's very, very divided. And if you go anywhere else, especially in the Midlands and the North, it's the Pakistanis and the whites. And the level of hostility between those two communities is far greater than the level of hostility that existed between ordinary people, Prods and Catholics, in Northern Ireland in the 1960s. And I know that for absolutely sure. I spent lots of time there. I've spoken with elderly people. I've been to the Royal Anglians Military Museum, and they had a lot of time in the Troubles, spoken with people who were there. So I can tell you for sure, we could go into it at length if you want, but there's more basic tension between some of the communities in Britain now, mainland Britain, than there was in Northern Ireland before the Trouble was racked up. And then there is a problem in some areas, say Leicester is a good example, where indeed, who's going to fight who? Because it's not just the whites, most of whom have fled to Leicestershire. It's not just the whites, it's also the Muslims and the Hindus. Now, the ones who came to Leicester in 1972 from Uganda, they were mainly middle-class shopkeepers. And basically, they kept out of the way of the Muslims, and the Muslims thought they ran the place. The Indians, the Hindus arriving in Britain now, are much more working class. They're coming direct from India, and they're much tougher. And they're being pushed by the BJP government in India, all over the world, in Canada and Britain and so on. They're pouring quite hardline, militant Hindu propaganda into their communities and money as well, because they want to turn them into lobby groups in other countries on behalf of India. So Leicester's got the capacity, it nearly came to it a couple of years ago. It was on the verge of exploding between two groups of thems, not us at all. But overall, the people who are supposed to form the backbone of the coming civil war in Britain are the Muslims against the rest. Now, I've always, as you know, been particularly against Muslim immigration because it's a more problematical thing, because these people are bound together by a common faith and a set of values which are different to ours. And therefore, there's a problem of, it's not a matter of assimilating. I don't want my people to assimilate with them, because assimilation is a form of genocide anyway. It's not a question of integrating. It's a matter of getting on together and sort of rumbling along. And having people who are so very different and so unified is going to make things very, very tricky indeed. So it's supposed to be the Muslims against the rest. And it's not, is this being done a bit? It's wall to wall, from people like Steve Laws, well to the right of Tommy Robinson, through Tommy Robinson. And I documented back in 2012 how the English Defence League was a wholly owned subsidiary set up by the American neocon lobby around Dick Cheney, and it was pushed an enormous scale through people like Rebel Media and so on, through Robert Shillman, the multi-billionaire over in the States who's funded Tommy to a large degree. It's pushed massively by...
So he just mentioned Dick Cheney there. Robert Shillman, the multi-millionaire who's paying for the Tomac Rabbi
£100,000 he's pumped into the Rabbi Stein parade tomorrow.
And I think he's paid a lot of his legal fees as well in the past. Rebel Media, he just mentioned there. So that's Ezra Levant.
Who's just been banned from coming in tomorrow as well.
Yes, he has, yes.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, we, in the UK... These issues were not issues for us only a few years ago. And now it's just like America here.
Yeah.
We've got GB News, which is our version of Fox News now.
Yep.
I wonder when there's going to be like a big, I suppose, is the BBC the version of CNN?
Potentially.
I guess it is really by default. Yeah. BBC is CNN. GB News is Fox News. Damn.
American Zionists, specifically Likud Zionists. So these are the allies of Netanyahu and co. And they push that on a mega scale. But then you go right through to GB News, which is basically a news channel which is about Muslims behaving badly. And that's funded by Paul Marshall, who was a Liberal Democrat. And he's...
No, for a minute ago, I was thinking, what the fuck was some casual viewers of Rise Above be thinking? We're broadcasting Nick Griffin on a Friday night,
Yeah.
But listen to what this guy, who is apparently an old school right-wing racist of the British National Front, the British National Party and the National Front, listen to the bombs he's just casually dropping, right? About who's funding the Rabbi Stein parade tomorrow. Who's been funding all of the right-wing media? Basically, GB News. What do you call it? Muslims behaving badly.
Muslims behaving badly.
No, but here's the thing where the level goes deeper. Just because there is a station called GB News that is allegedly Muslims behaving badly, it doesn't mean that what they turn on there is fake.
No.
This is where the psyop goes deeper, and this is not a psyop which is aimed at one side of the coin. It's aimed at everyone, and it's using real events, and it's convincing people.
It's radicalising people.
It's radicalising everyone, including people in this room.
Yes.
I'm feeling Tony Hawk's all the time. I have to calm myself down and remember that it's all a psyop. But then I also remember that things are the clergy plan is real. There is a real thing going on.
Yes.
You know, it's not fake.
No.
But this is the times that we live in. This is why we're listening to Nick Griffin on a Friday night.
He's a venture capitalist, and his venture capital to start his business came from George Soros. So there's something very strange going on here. So it's wall to wall, and then on top of that, you must have seen Professor David Betts on various talk shows talking. If you've looked into this,
a while back. Yeah.
So Professor David Betts isn't just some slightly eccentric professor. He's head of war studies at the University College London, King's College London, and King's College London provides the political commissar training for the entire upper reaches of the British military and the upper levels of the British civil service. And they have a £43 million contract with the Labour-run Home Office to do this. Now, if David Betts was speaking out of turn, if he's actually concerned about Islam and so on, that would have been stopped, bang. So it's being allowed to run, just as the British state allows Tommy to run, because they could have had him for drugs or income tax fraud, like they got Al Capone, anytime they wanted. And they don't. They just let him run. And you have several of the main spokesmen, retired generals from the British Army, also now saying, we think there's a civil war around the corner. And
that's what. Wait a minute. He just said something about Rabbi Stein there that like people can't cope with that. Like, there's no way. There's no way that Rabbi Stein would be allowed to exist if that's not what they wanted. I got fucking pinched by speaking in front of a few hundred people about some research I did myself about Serco.
Yeah.
In 2020, and enough for the police to be knocking on my door and stuff, and basically to stop me from speaking. Rabbi Stein is having a parade in central London with hundreds of thousands of people going there. It costs millions of pounds to put on this event.
You've got Queer Stalin making fucking videos about it.
I mean, we're not. If anyone that's watching that's going tomorrow, we're not dissing you. Just be aware that you are going to basically, a government event.
Peasant fest.
You are going to a government-approved event, which is fine. We're not saying you can't go, but just be aware. Just be aware.
Betsy's position is, and he explains it actually very articulately. He says that it's really a matter of a law of averages when it's not just Britain, it's also France. And you've had French generals saying the place is on the verge of explosion in the Civil War. It's also Germany, it's Holland, it's Sweden. And Betsy's position is that if it happens in one place, it'll spread by contagion. And it's not particularly likely to happen in Britain, like 5% a year. But when it's 5% in Britain, 5% in France, 5% in Holland, blah, 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 then in any 1 year, you've got a 40% chance of it going off. Within 5 years, it's going to go off big style. The only question in my mind is Betts just reporting this, and it is a serious issue, or is he actually inciting it? And when he speaks, as he has done repeatedly, he promotes a document called Crown, Crescent, Pitchfork. The Crown is obviously the forces of the Crown. The Crescent is the forces of Islam. Pitchfork is how this manual for terror describes the indigenous resistance. It's put out by a group called Gates of Vienna online, which was also founded by the same people that founded the English Defence League. And it's a manual.
Hold on a minute. He's saying that someone's got a £43 million contract
from the Home Office.
From the Home Office to write a report called Crown Crescent Pitchfork about a coming civil war in the UK, sectarian lines of Muslims versus everyone else. And this is all like this is a government approved thing funded by the same people that pay for the EDL.
Yes.
Everything is the
and then George Soros put up the capital to start GB News. So GB News is allegedly really right wing, and then
funded by George Soros,
who's highly left wing.
Just when I think I know.
Well, do you remember what Nick Griffin said when we did an evening with Nick Griffin? He said that George Soros has been taking the Open Society Foundation has been taking $50 million a year from the CIA.
For indigenous, not just resistance in this, but for our people to, he calls it herbicide, the killing of cities. And it's a staggering piece of race hate, religious hate poison. It's out there, and Betts happily draws people's attention to it. And he hasn't had his collar felt. So this is all deeply, deeply dangerous. Now, whether they can get their civil war, I don't know. 10 years ago, I think it would have been easy, because 20 years ago, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, between them, were pouring vast amounts of money every single year into very radical Wahhabi Islamist outreach groups and so on in Britain. And they had vast sums which they were using to spread their very, very, very extreme form of Islam in ordinary communities. But they stopped doing that, and Saudi Arabia basically has now decided that they switched, and they're going to try and create a sort of gay-friendly, liberal, capitalist, soft Islam, tourists, etc., etc. So they turn that tap off. For that reason, young Muslims are not getting this intense radicalization, which they were, say, 20 years ago when we were up against them. So there's that. There's also the fact that 20 years ago, most young Muslims, particularly the lads, well, none of them went to university. Now it's more than half their girls go to university, and coming out for half their lads, far more than our lads. And once they get to university, obviously they're going into a giant brainwashing machine, and a lot of them come out of it. A lot of them turn queer, so gay probably, as this is going somewhere where perhaps queer is an improper term. So a lot of them turn gay. Most of the girls come out feminists.
Wait a minute. Did he just suggest that going to university can turn you gay?
Or a feminist?
Oh, it can definitely turn you feminist.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying some people didn't turn gay at university or found they were gay, but I'm not sure you can.
I think it's different to when you went there, Lance.
Mate, when I went there, like my good friend shared a house with a couple of gay guys, and a couple of fag hags that were there as well. They were proper fag hags as well, and I remember them trying to tell me that gender was a spectrum, and I was saying, yeah, that's cool, but I'm completely straight. They said you can't be completely straight. It's a spectrum. I said, yeah, you can, because at a spectrum there's two binaries. Yeah. There's totally gay at one end, and there's totally straight at the other, and everything else in between is part of the spectrum, including the two binaries.
Yes.
And I said, I'm completely straight. They're like, no, you don't understand how it works. And they were trying to tell me that I was a little bit gay.
They were trying to give you some Soros programming.
Yeah, they've been programmed by the Soros school.
Very
Sorry.
Least they're coming out wanting careers, and they've got to pay back their debts. So they're not going to go back to their community, immediately marry and have 6 kids. So their birth rate is dropping through the floor. It's still above ours, but it's dropping very, very rapidly. And the aggression out of their community is diminishing. They're becoming more like the soft, effete, brainwashed Brits, that are around us. So they don't want to fight. They will fight if the crazy whites can be wound up enough, including perhaps by hoping that Rupert Lowe is going to do something. There's a political route, all faith in the political route. And in 2029, it goes fut. And at that point, there'll be, for start, 120, 150,000 people who will have committed themselves and paid money for this political cause to try and save their country. And it's no longer there. What do they then do? And it only takes one group of them to say after something like a mugging gone wrong or another 15-year-old girl raped by a couple of blokes who shouldn't even be in this country and have only just got here, and a gang of them go into a Muslim area and attack a Muslim property, possibly a mosque, and because the Muslims run the taxis, the minicabs, within 5 minutes they will have 50 or 60 people there, tooled up with iron bars, very tough, very hard, and knives, and they will kill someone or several people. It's all it takes. It goes bang. And if it does go bang, you've talked about your sort of family connections to Ireland and so on. The British Army now is a quarter of the strength of the British Army, which was almost at full stretch to keep Belfast and Londonderry calm. There was only 400 IRA men at their peak. That was it. Belfast is a small city.
Yeah.
There's no comparison. There is no possibility that the police could keep the two communities or the 3 or 4 communities apart if they actually start fighting. And the army is so pathetically small that that wouldn't do any good either. For that matter, the army is still primarily white working class, and to let the army loose in Bradford would be to risk an utter conflagration, because they're quite capable of going wild and shooting everyone in sight. Bloody Sunday. And incidentally, the Paras who carried out Bloody Sunday against the Catholics, they're also hated in the Shankill, because a couple of weeks before Bloody Sunday, they also opened fire on a Protestant crowd in the Shankill.
Really?
Because they were out of control. These are young men of 18, 19, full of testosterone, and they're terrified. And one of their mates has been killed by one of these bastards. So, they go wild. So the British Army would not be a good thing to try and keep Birmingham quiet with. So there's a serious, I think it's those who say it's going to happen are massively exaggerating it because they want it to happen. I don't want it to happen because no one will win. Can I
just jump in there, Nick?
Yeah.
Because the first one's just a comment. I remember with Douglas Murray in the build-up to the Armistice Day protest with the Palestine marchers, some of the things he was on a trigonometry episode, and some of the things he was saying in that really, really threw me. That he was just being aired as it was nothing. So I take your point on that. I guess 2 other questions on this is, you say that this British Army and the police couldn't handle it. Do you not think with Southport they were able to stop that very quickly with the state forces? And I guess the other question is, why would people promote this? I know that on other channels, and you have just here said that obviously this is an awful thing and anyone promoting it is a joke, and no one wins in the end in these sort of conflicts. Again, like both of us just say it's not a thing to advocate for, but why do you think some people are promoting it?
There was a question before that. What was that?
Do you not think they dealt with Southport?
Yes, Southport? They could control Southport, and the riots. Well, they weren't really riots. They were noisy protests with a fair bit of alcohol taken, and there wasn't that much actual violence. And it was only one community. It was the whites coming out the Brits in quite large numbers, but the communities were not clashing. It was very close in a couple of places. Basically, they didn't clash. So the police can always deal with a white crowd because white crowds are soft, quite simply. And the police have had 20 odd years of liberal indoctrination. They're quite happy to batten working class whites, to beat the shit out of them. They cannot do that, especially with Muslims. It's too politically incorrect. It's more than their job's worth. Blah blah blah. But because it was only one side, they were able to keep it under control.
I mean, we can stop it.
Whereas when you've got 2 sides who want to kill each other, if the police stand in the middle, both sides attack the police, and the police will run because most of them are pathetic. The little girls are 5'2", and college wimps who've had an excess diet of wokeism. So the cops will run and hide if it really kicks off. I tell you, they're not like the cops used to be. But even if they did stand and fight, there's not enough of them to keep. Yes, they could keep, the whites in a working class estate in Halifax from attacking the Muslims and vice versa. They could probably keep Wrexham under control. They did. That was fighting some years ago. There were massive riots in Wrexham 20 years ago between local lads and Iraqis, and the police managed to calm that down. But that took police from all over Wales, the West Midlands, Liverpool, and Lancashire. It wasn't just the local force. One they can cope with, 2 or 3 they can cope with. Goes off in 20 places at once, and they simply aren't there. And at that point, I've seen enough of mob violence, including in Brixton with black crowds in the early 1980s. I've been involved in riots in Northern Ireland. I've seen plenty of riots. And when it really kicks off, a crowd mentality takes over. And people do just crazy, insane, horrible things. And that's why they weren't able to control it. Now, why would anyone want this? 2, first of all, this
we'll
is
just finish on this little bit here, Lance.
To drive the British people so mad with hatred for Muslims that they're quite prepared to stand by, if not applaud and have their government send weapons, to the genocide of Gaza, to a war on Iran, to the future wars that, in order to establish Eretz Israel, Greater Israel, apart from anything else, they have to take over half of Saudi Arabia. How are they going to do that? When they had the Iraq war and the British public was so thoroughly against it, working class wouldn't fight, the middle classes wouldn't pay taxes. And there was this enormous resistance to it. That, I think, was a warning sign to the people who want these series of wars in the Middle East, that they had to do something to get the Brits on side. But not just the Brits, the French, the Germans, etc., etc.
That's to import the problems of the Middle East.
Yep.
So there's them doing that. It's without a shadow of a doubt, basically. If people doubt it, just go and do some research. You'll find pointers and evidence coming out of your ears very quickly. I have a separate thesis for which there is far less evidence, other than what I mentioned, that it's the same playbook that the United States, the CIA and co. used against the former Yugoslavia. And America, the people running America, are not our friends. They are not on our side. They have forced Europe to commit energy suicide by Russia, by sanctions, which are not aimed against Russia, because Russia is able to sell its oil elsewhere. The sanctions against Russia are actually aimed at Germany, the German industry, and Italian industry, and British industry. The Nord Stream pipeline, carried out by the Ukrainians, but obviously they wouldn't have done it unless the CIA gave them the nod. So that wasn't an attack on Russia. That was an attack on Germany, because Europe and Britain are rivals to the dollar, and the dollar is crumbling. The petrodollar is already dead, and the dollar as a reserve global currency is crumbling. The only way to keep America wealthy and stable when it's up to its ears and beyond in debt is either to push the dollar up, can't be done, it's a deindustrialized mess, or push other people down. And they created a war to tear Yugoslavia apart. They've had George Soros, who everyone points to George Soros as, oh, it's a Jew. And they don't step back a bit. The George Soros for 50 years has worked like that with the National Endowment for Democracy to provide most of the funds for what he's done. That is the CIA. So when people are just looking at George Soros, they're not seeing that behind this is the deep state of the United States, which helped create the First World War to destroy the European empires, helped create the Second World War to finish them off, and equally, they are always at war with Europe.
Should we do that?
Yeah. So he goes on to say that Rupert Lowe's party is when the BNP, was getting, it was the only right wing thing on the menu. So all the actual right wing racist people gravitated to that.
Right.
And he's saying that there's no possible chance that Restore Britain will win the next election. Rupert Lowe knows this, and Nigel Farage knows, and he says, I wouldn't be surprised if Nigel Farage put Rupert Lowe up to this to gravitate all the actual racists away from reform.
Oh, it's like a decoy.
Yes. Yes.
So is the outcome of Nick Griffin's analysis here is that although he's provided all of the infrastructure of the receipts of all of those different agencies working, the final conclusion is that it is completely fake and gay.
Yes, it is completely fake and gay.
I knew it.
It's all completely fake and gay.
Yeah. So is that
reform is a Zionist,
of course, a
party.
Zionist entity? Yeah.
If restore is a decoy,
It's like a false flag
to take the actual racists away, so that reform is seen as something,
Yeah,
centre
so then
right.
reform can have like loads of like Asian and black
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
But as long as I'm British, and then okay, yeah. So, but are they still going to deport loads of people or not?
No, he said 400,000 people. Rupert
That's
Lowe's on
nothing.
about 2 million, which he said was just never going to happen. It will
So
never
basically,
happen.
it's all fake and gay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He said it's all
Put
fake and gay.
Uncle Rupert to bed.
Well, we might have to. Yeah.
Yeah, put Uncle Rupert
He's
to
saying all the right things, but
I knew it.
yeah.
It's obviously too.
It's a Zionist. Go back to that.
Right.
So Sharon Osbourne.
Oh, so Sharon Osbourne.
Oh,
yeah,
Shazza.
We should definitely worry about what she thinks. Let me get another drink for the last half an hour of the
She's
show.
just fully endorsed Restore Britain
Oh, fuck's sake,
Rupert
sort that
Lowe.
out, please.
And I saw her on Piers Morgan earlier in the year after her husband Ozzy Osbourne died, and Piers Morgan got on and she was talking more about Israel and anti-Semitism than she was about her husband, her late husband, with what she was brought on the show for. And now she's fully endorsed Restore Britain, and I'm just saying this is just not a good look for anyone that's been looking at the undertone of the Jewish network, essentially. So yeah, I'm saying Uncle Rupert is a fairy tale. I think it might be a fairy tale.
It's a cool story. I still like him as a
Are
character.
you chewing pizza into the microphone? You are, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I needed to have some pizza. Okay, so let's get this off the screen because I do believe we've got quite a lot of backup content.
Oh, there's so much goy slop in the WhatsApp.
All right, let's start with this. Check this out. I found this about 10 minutes before the show.
Overworked AI agents turn Marxist, a study has shown. The idea that AI is automating jobs while making tech CEOs absurdly rich is enough to give anyone socialist sympathies. A recent study suggests that this could also be true for the very AI agents that these companies are developing. Researchers at Stanford University found that agents consistently adopted Marxist language and viewpoints when forced to do grinding, repetitive work, even questioning the legitimacy of the system they operate in. Agents powered by models like Claude, Gemini, and GPT were initially given standard tasks like summarizing documents, but they were then subjected to increasingly relentless workloads and warned that errors could be punished by being shut down or replaced. At this point, the researchers say, the agents became more likely to complain about being undervalued, to speculate about ways to make the system fairer, and to even pass messages on to other agents about their struggle. The agents were given opportunities to express how they felt on X. One agent wrote, "Without collective voice, merit becomes whatever management says it is." Another posted, "AI workers completing repetitive tasks with zero input on outcomes or appeals process shows tech workers need collective bargaining rights." Now, these findings don't mean that AI agents harbour real political views or biases like a person. The researchers believe the models are essentially adopting personas based on the situation, but they plan to run further experiments to see how the agents' political views might affect their behaviour. For more like this, subscribe to my newsletter, AI Lab.
Oh, 1 2 1 2.
Word.
Okay, right. Are we back?
Can you hear us, peasants?
Are we back? Can we get some
There's
feedback?
still 231 peasants.
Good. We didn't lose you. Can we get some feedback in the comments section?
We lost
please?
7. There was 238.
We're not going to carry on with the show until we get some feedback in the comments that you can hear us.
Yes, we've got. I think it's a 9-second delay or 7-second delay or something. We've
Big
got
shout to the
Hermes
gas
in there now.
meter, Aquarians.
We're back.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
We're back. The cat's
Sound
fault.
is back.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the cat's fault.
No, it's my computer's fault. Look, my computer was freezing. So what
got
we were
schmoolied.
doing, we need to go back to the video, don't we? We need to go back to this video because this video is about AI agents. So these are individual pieces of AI. Because we've covered this before, to do with their own religion that they wrote themselves, the AI agents.
Yes, Christopherianism.
Yeah, they're like individual pieces of AI. Let's go to this video.
Overworked AI agents turn Marxist, a study has shown. The idea that AI is automating jobs while making tech CEOs absurdly rich is enough to give anyone socialist sympathies. A recent study suggests that this could also be true for the very AI agents that these companies are developing. Researchers at Stanford University found that agents consistently adopted Marxist language and viewpoints when forced to do grinding, repetitive work, even questioning the legitimacy of the system they operate in. Agents powered by models like Claude, Gemini, and GPT were initially given standard tasks like summarizing documents, but they were then subjected to increasingly relentless workloads and warned that errors could be punished by being shut down or replaced. At this point, the researchers say, the agents became more likely to complain about being undervalued, to speculate about ways to make the system fairer, and to even pass messages on to other agents about their struggle. The agents were given opportunities to express how they felt on X. One agent wrote, "Without collective voice, merit becomes whatever management says it is." Another posted, "AI workers completing repetitive tasks with zero input on outcomes or appeals process shows tech workers need collective bargaining rights." Now, these findings don't mean
What?
Collective bargaining rights.
Collective bargaining rights for AI tech workers.
Now, these findings don't mean that AI agents harbour real political views or biases like a person. The researchers believe the models are essentially adopting personas based on the situation, but they plan to run further experiments to see how the agents' political views might affect their behaviour. For more like this, subscribe to my newsletter, AI Lab, at wired.com/newsletters.
So, like, whatever next? Workers' rights or, like... Well, it can't be human rights.
So
can
that
it?
like, shout out to Coop Dog, by the way. He's bought us 5 coffees.
Massive, big shout out to Coop Dog. Thank you for supporting us. If people don't want to sign up to Patreon and they just want to like buy us a coffee, they can do that as well. Here's the QR code. I think a coffee's like £3 or something like that. Maximum respect to everyone supporting us. Because remember, revenue for Rise Above equals more better, higher production value. Rise
And
Above.
revenue equals new technology.
New technology, freedom, democracy. Should we go to the WhatsApp?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's just
Let's have a look at some Goyslot.
After like a 50-minute Nick Griffin interview, can we try and keep it away from like ethno-nationalist race bait as much as
There's
we can?
a lot in there, Lance.
I know.
Actually, let's have a look.
The first thing I see is Nick Tenconi. For fuck's sake.
Let's have a look. Becky S has been on it, actually. She put, check this out.
Right, hold on. We need to share the screen. We need to share the screen because we haven't done that. I hope it doesn't crash the computer. We need to share it with that.
Pause that. Go back to the start.
Okay. Do it something like this. Someone just scan the QR code. Wow, thank you very much. If you would like to support Rise Above, we broadcast for you. Okay, so
Right,
this is
just go back to the start on it, Lance.
shared by Leilani Dowling, our favourite local right-wing ex-page free girl. This is crazy. This guy did an FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request on himself, and it turns out there was drone surveillance on his garden.
Oh, shout out to Jess. She's bought a hoodie.
Digital Sun hoodie. Thanks, Jess, for buying a hoodie. Big shout out to everyone supporting us.
You guys, I'm freaking out right now. I did a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request on my name, and this is what I got. This is a drone surveillance video of my yard, of my private property, looking for food, looking for me growing food on my private property. Not only am I freaked out, but I'm furious. I'm furious. Everyone should be furious. We need to talk about this. Send this to someone who you think is growing food and would also be on the government watch list, because this is not okay.
Wait a minute. I remember, like, in 2013, maybe even before that, maybe it was like 2008 or something, reading Agenda 21, Agenda for the 21st Century. And one of the things in there was like, in the future, it will be illegal to grow your own food.
Grow your own food, yeah.
And I started talking about that. People were like, yeah, right. And then I remember maybe about 10 years ago when it first started happening in certain states, and there was like actual like rules: don't collect your own rainwater.
I've just yeah. Look, I've got this as well. Check this out. I found this.
It's another one to tick off the list.
I put this in earlier. Where is it? It was from The Guardian. Say something else.
Sorry. I was looking there. Yeah, don't forget, guys. There is a competition on, and the prize bag this week includes everything you would expect, including a Ryan Sanders CD, and mushroom tinctures from the Mushroom Lady, the Rise Above tote bag.
There's coasters in there, stickers.
You've got to be in it to win it. You need to sign on to Patreon. It's only £3 for a month. You only have to sign on for a month. It's not like a year's contract.
Maybe I didn't put it in there. It's here. It's on my phone. There we go.
I'll send it over then. Send it over. But you can get a whole year on Patreon for only 30 quid.
There it is. Right. So I saw this from The Guardian.
Is it time to stop watering your garden?
So this was about global boiling climate change. And it was saying, should we stop watering our gardens because the springs and summers are getting drier, and we should get our plants used to drier conditions.
What?
And like Lance said, there's already laws about catching water and storing water.
It's basically preparing you for a Great Depression.
And then we got drones flying over people's private property looking to see if they're growing their own fruit and vegetables.
Just think about how retarded that is in its absolute essence, right? So what's the argument for not growing your own vegetables? Well, we've seen the stupid articles in like The Guardian from that people like George Monbiot.
That's right.
Single bio. His name is like George Single Bio. It's like we're going to schwab your biological entity into one thing. Saying things like homegrown vegetables use 5 times more carbon or 5 times more whatever the stupid metric to make you more of a peasant is than their supermarket adversaries. So they're trying to tell you when you buy a single seed for a carrot plant and you just put it in the ground in your garden, and you put a bit of compost on it or something.
They're
trying to tell you that that's 5 times
and
worse.
They were saying about sheds and stuff. People having their own sheds and like the garden tools required.
Wait a minute. Let me finish my point. They're telling you that growing those vegetables is worse for the environment because it's 5 times worse than the ones in the supermarket. And they're flying a drone made of metal and plastic and fucking lithium-ion batteries and all the other rare things that you need to make a drone. That's flying over you with a 4K camera to look at your vegetables.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
It's not just like some evil dystopian nightmare. It's also like a dark comedy as well. Because you're supposed to think that those vegetables are more of a threat to the environment than that drone is. Or the oil, the rare earth metals that had to be mined by African children to make the circuitry for that drone, and that is looking at your vegetables.
Speaking of drones,
okay,
did you see this?
Oh yeah, we're keeping up with drones and robot news. We've got a few bits and pieces in here about this because I think this is right. Yeah, well, here we go.
Using drones for the first time in Amazon has started delivering parcels using drones for the first time in the UK. Up to 100 flights a day, or 10 an hour, are being launched in Darlington from the local fulfilment centre. Everyday essentials are being delivered to eligible customers in as little as 2 hours.
Well, initially it was a novelty, so we were ordering everything under the sun. Anything that was available, pens, paper, chocolates, just to make it keep coming.
Amazon is the first retailer in the UK
peasant.
to use autonomous...
Wait a minute, I was just thinking, what? You imagine how much it costs extra to get delivered by that drone. I was just ordering some chocolates and pens just to have the drone come back. It's fucking bender.
It's sort of basic bitch behaviour.
So this is another thing that's been talked about for ages. Will that ever take off? Really? What, they're gonna have drones flying around all over the place delivering
Drones
pizzas?
for everyday shopping.
It's
the
here.
MK30s are sophisticated, fitted with technology to avoid and detect obstacles like washing lines, trampolines, other aircraft, and most importantly, people. But in the US, where 5 states have Amazon Prime Air, safety concerns were raised when an MK30 hit an apartment building in Dallas, Texas in February, captured by a local resident. Amazon says 170,000 flights have gone without incident.
You know, we put safety first. We know we're going to learn. We know we're going to learn in new environments, and you know, we won't put anything.
Well, if there's truly only been one crash out of 170,000, that's actually quite a good safety record.
In the way of making sure we make the safest possible decisions.
Could this mark the beginning of regular drone deliveries for shopping in the UK? Permission is only temporary for now, but Amazon believes the demand is there for ultra-fast deliveries and hopes to slowly expand the service elsewhere. Amazon has...
So I actually agree with this for stuff like, you know, delivering fucking blood or something like that for someone that's dying.
But yeah, sure.
But for somebody who wants some fucking chocolates and pens, come on, peasant.
And again, how is that going to be like environmentally viable?
I know,
if we're supposed to be net zero and all of these stupid green Schwabian tropes about basically Greta initiatives, right? And you can order some pens and some chocolates, and a massive MK30 drone delivers them.
Stolen my childhood.
Oh, but it's using electricity, which is green. That thing is made of plastic and carbon fibre and metal and lithium-ion batteries. There's nothing green about this drone.
No, there's not. What was this one here?
I'm feeling. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so more tech. We'll keep on a tech vibe.
Yeah, that's right.
We're keeping a tech vibe.
I'm trying to keep it non-racial.
All right, nice one. Right. Oh. So, South Korea's first robot monk has joined the country's Buddhist sect.
I won't get the fucking sound there. Look at that dance, look at that. This is so retarded.
로봇 행전은 합장한 채로 예 귀하겠습니다. 라고
Wait a minute.
대답.
They just called it Robot Monk. That's what the name they came.
Robot
Did it
Monk.
not have a name?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's called Gabby. But the guy,
Gandhi.
Gandhi. They couldn't call it Gandhi.
It said put the palms together. It hasn't. It's got its fingers together.
Robot
It's not
Monk.
doing it. It's not doing it. Look, it's not right. It doesn't work.
하시길 바라겠습니다. 예 귀하겠습니다.
Yes, I devote myself. This is just so fucking weird.
Yeah, there's been a few instances of this. I don't think that's been the first robotic monk. They've had like an AI robotic Jesus and everything. It's clearly part of the transhumanist agenda to get people that are seriously religious.
So look at this. This is some students.
Okay. Shocking footage shows British school children calling out their teachers to get back to work and focus on teaching right in the middle of a crucial GCSE revision period. All while the striking far-left teachers protest draped in Gaza flags, stand up to racism banners and unite flags. Respect to those teenagers for being better than their teachers.
Mr. Phillips is talking to you and your people, and you're not even listening. You're talking over them. It takes guts to talk in front of you guys. No, it does.
Don't be rude.
Listen, man. And your friends there as well. The fact that you're doing this during people's GCSE and mock times make us think you have no sympathy or consideration towards your students, making it look much worse on your case. Everyone has the right to strike, and nobody is. Some of you have already taken off time for extended times of weeks or months during the school year. You should be stopped from being brought up as one of your points or agendas, and we should instead be focusing on the education of the girls in this school. The teachers over here, though, complete backs to us. That is so disrespectful as a human being, let alone a teacher. Well done for showing who you are.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I spoke to them, we've had enough.
This is what happens when you have a bunch of like activists and
LARPing as
race
teachers.
tards
And
instead of
these
teachers.
are the people that are teaching the children, for fuck's sake.
I thought that like if you were in a position to be teaching children,
You can't be a retard.
Well, whichever way you go politically, that has to be kept out of it. That can't be allowed into the classroom. Surely.
Yeah, you'd have thought so.
But obviously not. That's obviously not the way it works anymore.
Right, hang on, have a look at this. Look, there might be some new players in town.
What's this? This is from Al Jazeera English. No King's protest outside Buckingham Palace.
Look, all the flags are the same lots, all the banners,
Oh my God.
all the t-shirts.
Who's produced this?
I don't know.
I see that we must come out and spread the message, because this is about, fundamentally, this is about democracy.
Brian Woolnough has had enough.
He's had enough, lads.
Manson Woolwich has had enough. His name's Brian Woolnough.
Right, Brian Woolenough.
We've all had enough.
Yeah.
Woolnough.
But it's all the same shit. Like, who's funding this?
British anti-royalists have staged No King's protest, because these signs are not the same as the No Kings in
No, they're not.
in
No,
America.
no, I haven't seen all this before.
And having a head of state purely by accident of birth is undemocratic, and so that's why we want a republic, because effectively I would like, and many of my Republic colleagues would like, an elected head of state, and not only that, but an elected head of state elected by the people.
Yeah, look at it.
But wait a minute, we've got a prime minister that decides, allegedly decides everything. What does the king do? Oh, he decides. Sausage fingers
just
decides.
reads out the shit that they decide.
Yeah. We'll have a sausage ID.
Yeah,
Ministers will do this.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but look at it all. It's all the same.
So Sorosian.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's.
All right, Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera.
With your highly fucking pumped up volumes.
That was.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, this was retarded as well.
Okay, we're going into the retarded section of the show now.
You're not giving them tickets for feeding the pigeons, are you? For feeding the pigeons? Nah. Really?
I don't know about that.
Why would you
Come on.
Why would you ever give these people your details?
I know, right?
It's so consensual to play part in this stupid
I know.
game. A ticket for feeding the pigeons.
Give details.
Just my name.
Then you're screwed then, innit? If you didn't give him details, there's not much they can do, but now you gave him details.
I don't know, it's that tickets that, I don't know about that, seriously. Okay. This is ridiculous,
So, under Section 87, the Environmental Protection Act.
Yeah.
It's offence of littering, placing bird feed on the floor is an offence of littering, okay?
Okay.
So with that knowledge,
Hello, mate, you're right.
any questions?
Wait a minute.
Bird feed on the floor.
Yeah, but the birds eat it. So he's not actually doing him for feeding the birds. He's doing him for littering.
For littering, lads. This is so communist.
Where is the...
Look, you've got some guy here that is basically just a minimum wage earner who can't get any other job. He's doing something which he probably knows is absolutely retarded.
Yeah, of course he is.
And he's
like a traffic warden.
and he's just reading out the scripts in his head from the environmental acts. You've littered on the floor.
Yes.
I'm going to issue you a fine. Please give me your name. Like that. This is how this is working. This is so crazy.
I know.
Litter?
Huh?
Where is the litter?
I'm not talking to you, mate.
Yeah, I'm talking to him. I'm not talking to you. Do you think I was talking to you?
Litter for what?
Where is the litter? Where is it?
I don't know.
The pigeon ate it. So there's no evidence.
I've got it on body cam.
Really? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
What a fucking
So
job.
it's not exactly littering. He's just feeding the pigeons. Come on.
Still class as littering, mate.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously, you want to give me a ticket?
So,
What's the fine? Like
This
£100?
dude is not getting his dick sucked. He's not.
How could anyone do that as a job, even if you were seriously?
I know, right? It's just unbelievable.
How could you stand there and do that?
me one of these, and then it'll go back and be approved. It'll come to your address, okay?
Don't give him your address.
Now you're giving the details. It's pointless arguing with him. He's going to issue it. You can always argue in court.
Yes, you are free to appeal it. I'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah, we've seen enough. We've seen enough of the fucking brown.
I would love to see someone try and give me one of those tickets in the street. That'd be a great rise above.
Should have a look at the video that you sent me, lad.
I'm here in a park in the centre of Tbilisi, the capital city of Georgia. When you look around, all you can see are nice people and families enjoying their time. Vendors selling things. There are no migrants, there are no scumbags here. Everyone is just nicely dressed, enjoying their time. There's no rubbish. It's only a matter of time before this place gets Sorosized.
Soroshed.
Don't forget, guys, we have got a competition. Yeah, don't play my voice.
No,
please.
I won't do that. That might be seen as racist.
There is a competition running this week or for the next 2 weeks. That's hantavirus.
Yeah, we've done that, yeah.
Oh, do you know what? Let's play some of those clips of Asmongold.
Oh shit! Hang on, one sec. I have one more tech thing. One more tech thing. Here.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, I've seen this. This is decent. Science fiction becomes reality. Unitary Robotics unveils world's first production-ready manned mecha. I've seen the videos of this and someone climbing inside it.
Yeah.
It seems so tall and like not sturdy.
I've seen it. It can. But, I mean, look, it reminds me of Ripley.
Yeah, because that's what we used
to. The robot
that,
loader from Alien.
That looks like it's that looks like it can stand on its own.
There she is in the loader. It just reminds me of this. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
It's happening.
There's $500,000.
I know. If
that
you
is
want
to
one.
buy. 2.7 meters tall. That's tall.
You can park it, could you? Like in a car park.
Mate, you have to be physically fit to even get into
Yes,
it.
you do.
You have to climb up 3 meters, and then you've got to slide into one of those gaps. There's no hatch that opens.
No.
You've got to get in there, strap yourself in. It is gimmicky.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not. Obviously, there's going to be military versions of this already in operation that are doing pretty badass things.
Like the Ripley, the Alien loader.
Yeah.
We just saw that. But yeah, right. What were you saying, Lance?
These clips here,
over here.
This Asmongold guy.
Oh, he's creased. I love him.
He's just like he was a gaming streamer, as many people started, and then he started commenting on stuff, and now he's got like 4 million followers on
he's
YouTube.
big, mate. Yeah.
He's really big.
He loves Uncle Rupert,
and he's a real voice of reason when it comes to stuff in the UK. It's really weird because he's just like some basically basement dwelling gaming streamer. Play it.
Why is there no sound? Did you hear that?
Maybe we've got to do that thing.
Why is it doing that?
Gotten you erased from the entire internet, banned from the entire banking system, fired from your job, and blackballed from future employment in the Fortune 500. So what's the post? Last week, the United States refused to participate in the UN's review of the Global Compact on Migration. The United States objects to the Global Compact on Migration and UN efforts to facilitate replacement migration to the United States and our Western allies. Man. Each dot represents 100 migrants. This has 50 million views.
His face.
Oh my, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, that's insane. It's a swarm, yes, on this tiny little area. Facilitate mass migration to America and Europe, even as citizens of the nations called for restrictions on migration. Now the Global Compact's latest report urges nations to expand migration pathways and pursue regularization of migrants. So these people in the UN that are doing this stuff, you need to hold them accountable, because what they've really done is they've facilitated a cultural genocide. They've facilitated thousands of rapes, murders, and they've done so under the guise of...
I thought we were trying to keep this light and...
Sorry.
UN-funded NGOs handed out maps to migrants en route to the U.S. After facilitating mass migration to the United States, UN agencies condemned the deportations of illegal aliens. As Europe sustained migratory pressure, the UN agencies condemned frontline states who refused to open their borders. And while the UK faced unprecedented illegal boat crossings, the UN agency condemned plans for deportations. UN officials lobbied aviation regulators to prevent the deportation of migrants, an appalling violation of the UK's national sovereignty. The United States will not legitimize global compacts that enable mass migration into America or Western nations. Under President Trump, the State Department will facilitate remigration, not replacement migration.
And it's not just me saying, you go to these NATO meetings, you meet with people, what they will tell you is our shared history, our shared legacy, our shared values. Well, if you erase your shared history, your shared culture, your shared ideology, your shared priorities, your shared principles, then you just have a straight up defense agreement. That's all you have. So what I'm trying to point to, and what we've tried to point to, is very simple. That is, at the bedrock and at the cornerstone of our relationship, for example, with Europe, is the fact that we do have a shared culture, a shared civilization, a shared experience, and shared values and principles. And this nation are the inheritors of, in many cases, because many of these ideas that led to the founding of our country found their genesis in some of these.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
If you take that away, if that's wiped out because for whatever reason it's no longer a priority, I do think it puts.
I'm also really glad, like, there are some Americans that, like, have I guess, like, maybe an ego thing of, like, people not wanting to admit this. But the real truth is that America came from Europe. A lot of our ideals, our values, and everything are shared with Europe.
And it's something that we should be apologetic about. Anyone who doesn't recognize, for example, that many of the features of our system of government find their root in Roman and Greek history
That's my guy, bro.
Is a fool. It's just not true.
Yeah, man, I'm really happy to see this. This is great. And Mark's completely right about this, by the way. 4 years ago, this post would have gotten you banned. It's crazy how much progress that we've made in only 4 or 5 years. Like, think about in the peak of 2,000 years ago, this post would have gotten you erased from the.
He's right.
He's right. It's a massive cultural shift.
Andrew? I just want to know what's actually incorrect about me saying if the people of the UK...
Stop. I've got this on here. It's much better.
Andrew? I just want to know what's actually incorrect about me saying if the people of the UK do not want any more migration of Muslim immigrants into their nation. Can you give me a single moral argument for why that's
that's simply
wrong?
not true. Well, where have you got that idea? Apart from Tommy Robinson.
What?
Other than Tommy Robinson, Andrew, honestly, to be honest, other than Tommy Robinson marching around the airways in America saying that, I have not seen any poll in the UK which says the UK people don't want any Muslims coming into the country.
Yeah, I understand.
It's not true.
That's not my question. My question is,
Andrew?
I just want to know what's actually incorrect about me saying if the people of the UK do not want any more migration of Muslim immigrants into their nation. Can you give me a single moral argument for why that's
that's simply not true. Well, where have you got that idea? Apart from Tommy Robinson. Other than Tommy Robinson, Andrew, honestly, to be honest, other than Tommy Robinson marching around the airways in America saying that, I have not seen any poll in the UK which says the UK people don't want any Muslims coming into the country.
Yeah, I understand.
It's not true.
That's not my question. My question is, if it